Ready to go again. It is 6-0 after scoring on the first drive here for Point. Back to receive for Bluefield. It'll be Jeffrey Hughes, who will catch it at his own 5-yard line and then cut back up. Juking around at the 15 and then stomped out at the 16-yard line. And that is where the Rams will start out the first drive. Just an apology for some technical difficulties we had early on, and now we are back on the air. 6-0, Nick, and Point really stormed down the field. They didn't even pass on the first drive.
Right, they ran all over us. They had no problem getting first down after first down and eventually finding the end zone.
So now we'll have to see what Kason Witt can do. He's already 2-0 on the year after being named the starter in that game against Warner. And he did a pretty solid job against St. Andrews last week. He had over 200 yards passing, was 14 for 19. But really the story of the day was the Bluefield run attack.
Right, with Alex Martin and Malik Brown both back there just absolutely running all over the defense. Both had 100-plus yards, and that was just an incredible game from both of them.
So here we go. Once again, it is a first down, but now an illegal formation on a flag called all the way back near the kickoff. And there is just all sorts of audio functionalities here that we were not ready for,
yes.
Nick. The referee is screaming. The band sounds like the Rolling Stones in 1972. I mean, we need earplugs.
Absolutely. It's, like you said earlier, it's very hard to hear yourself think, much less speak.
Well, it is 6-0, 10:06. They're going to re-kick it. And Bluefield will try to have a better return here after Jeffrey Hughes had nowhere to go and had to move up to his 16-yard line. So 6-0, and especially a little bit odd there we saw for the fans that missed it. They were going for 2 on a fake when they flipped the ball up to their wide receiver, Tyrell Warren. And Warren was smashed right at the line of scrimmage. Bluefield did not fall for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they went for that on the first possession.
So now Thurston Jackson to kick once again from the left hash. Jeffrey Hughes and Malik Brown back to receive this kick. After the illegal formation, they have all of their men bunched up on each side rather than spreading out the kick team. Now Jackson boots an end-over-end kick received by Jeffrey Hughes on the far sideline, and he stumbles but then moves up across the 20 and then tackled by a host of Skyhawks at the 23-yard line. And now that's where Bluefield will start, so we'll have to see what Kason Witt and company do for the Rams. Now Witt, a redshirt junior from Massaponax High School, ready to go at the 23-yard line.
It's going to be important for Kason Witt to get in a rhythm here early. Last week he was extremely efficient, like you said, going 14 of 19 for 216 yards. All he needs to do is take care of the football. That's your number one goal as a quarterback, is just do not turn it over and find your receivers.
1st and 10 from the 23, lining up in the gun. Malik Brown, the leading rusher for Bluefield, right beside him. 2 receivers on each side. And a handoff to Brown, and he scoots to the left, but is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Immediately that time by the linebacker, Cameron Weems, who's one of those stars on the defense we have to watch out for today. Also have to look out for KJ Minifield, originally listed as number 5 on the roster, but now wearing number 14 in that blue jersey today. Point wearing the dark blue jerseys, the yellow numbers, and then for socks it looks like they have Carolina blue. Kason Witt hands it off to Brown once again, nowhere to go, and who else but Cameron Weems. He was there. It was already a loss of 5 on the first play, and then on the second a loss of 1. So 3rd and very long, all the way back to the 16-yard line.
There's a lot of physicality going on up front, both during and after the plays. We cannot get a push against this Point defensive line.
Now 3rd and 13 from the 21-yard line. Witt in the gun, moves Brown right behind him. Two receivers on each side, 5 men on the line of scrimmage. Witt drops back, under pressure, flares over the middle, incomplete. Looking for the Georgia native Antonio Strickland, but Gerard Ali was on the coverage, and it was incomplete down the seam. So a 3-and-out early for Bluefield. And, Nick, that's just what we talked about. If the Rams want to win this game on the road, it's going to be tough for them to get down in these deficits early.
Right, we have to play very well in the first half, and the guy you highlighted just a second ago, KJ Minifield, started on the left side of the formation, saw the running back switch, and he wanted to get to the backside where there is nobody to block, and he about got to Kason Witt in time. Still laying a big hit on him after he got rid of the ball.
Chase Turner back to receive for the Skyhawks, and Drake Presley all the way back at his own 6-yard line. Good snap to him, and he gets off a spiraling punt. Turner will receive it at the 44. Now goes near sideline, room to run, scooting up near the hash mark. Now the 45, still on his feet at the Bluefield 40. Bluefield still trying to wrestle him down, on his feet still, and the pile keeps moving for point all the way up to the 32. And that was not a great job by the special teams for the Rams. Now 8:11 on the clock in the first quarter, 6-0. So 1st and 10 in Bluefield territory, and they just couldn't tackle the young man.
No, he just kept his legs churning and probably gained an extra 15 yards right there.
So now 1st and 10 Skyhawks. Derek Ballard, like we said, has not thrown a pass yet. 6-0 here.
And Billy, this is a situation that I could see them trying to go to the end zone on the first play of this drive.
At the 32-yard line, 2 receivers bunched out right. Ballard looking on the far sideline where he has Ducksworth and Turner. Now a handoff to Ladarius Mathis will be cut back, and Ballard dropped behind the line of scrimmage, and the tackle was made by Caleb Jackson. So Ballard on the read didn't make the right call, and he only moved up about a yard for Caleb Jackson to make the tackle. So now 2nd and 9 from the 31. So the clock under 8 minutes now, 6-0, 7:44. Ballard in the gun. They've only gone under center on one play, which was a sneak. Mathis, the running back on the right side of Ballard, who looks out wide to his 2 receivers. Bluefield with 5 men in the box, just 3 on the line of scrimmage. Now a play action, looks right, now has to scoot right side, flares on the near sideline, and it's going to be cut and moving out of bounds for a solid gain up to the 21-yard line. That time it was snared by Trey Peters, but they were very close to a first down yardage, but it's going to be 3rd and short.
Look for a lot of those hitches and short patterns with this Bluefield College, with both of our cornerbacks standing about 6 to 7 yards off the ball.
All spread out Mathis, and it's actually a first down now. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. 6-0, and trying to add some more on as they are now into Bluefield territory, almost in the red zone. High snap to Ballard. He hands it off to Mathis, and Terrence Hall, the nose guard, able to wrest him down after a short gain. Now across the 20 in the red zone now technically up to the 18-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Glad to have you with us, folks, here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Points scored on their first drive while we were having some audio difficulties. Now moving into Bluefield territory again on their second drive with 6:30 left. It's 6-0. Still in the spread, Mathis the running back. He'll hand it off. No, a play action, looks left, and he'll fire it out left where it's caught by Ducksworth at the 15-yard line, and then a tackle made by Devin Jackson, pushing him all the way back near the line of scrimmage, but forward progress gives it a short gain.
It's already Jackson's 4th tackle on the day, and it's very early to already have that many tackles coming from the safety spot.
Well, Devin Jackson is the 2-time Appalachian Division Defensive Player of the Week. Now under 6 minutes left, 3rd and 4 from the 15-yard line. Ballard in the gun. He has a running back on his left side now. Ladarius Mathis has been the running back for the past 6 plays after Marquez Jackson was taken out. Has to get it up to the 11-yard line. Snap. Ballard looks left. Under pressure, throws a flare, far sideline, and incomplete. Devin Jackson on the coverage as the pass was intended for Mathis. It's going to be 4th and 4, and now sending out the kick team.
And with the starting field position that Point had just now, that's almost a win for this Bluefield College defense, forcing them to attempt this field goal.
Now Thurston Jackson back to kick. Once again, he did not have that PAT attempt after they went for a fake on the first PAT of the game. So now looking at a 32-yard kick. Snap is down, kick is away, and it is good. So the 32-yarder goes through the uprights, and now it is 9-0, but a flag coming out on the field. Have to see if this will still count. And it could possibly be on Bluefield, which could give them a first down.
Yeah, that would be detrimental.
So the kick was good. Still waiting on the field goal call, or the penalty call, and Point signals that it's on the Rams. They are confident. Now the offense moving back on the field as we have not gotten the call yet. Well, it was a muffled call at that, but a personal foul on Bluefield, so half the distance to goal on a 15-yard penalty. So now it's going to be first and goal. So wipe that 9-0 off of the board. The field goal was good, but now the Skyhawks have first and goal from the 9-yard or the 8-yard line rather. And like you said, Nick, very detrimental as Ballard is back on the field with Ladarius Mathis right beside him.
And you have Ducksworth one-on-one coverage up top.
Ballard takes it himself and storms across the 5 up to the 3-yard line after the linebackers get to him. It'll be second and goal. So not only do you have to watch out for Ballard's arm, he's proven to be a pretty speedy quarterback so far early on. Trying to extend the lead, it's already 6-0. Skyhawks threatening to score once again. It is second and goal from the 4-yard line. Has 2 wide receivers out right, Turner in the slot and Trey Peters out right, while Ducksworth is the man on the far sideline. Ball spotted left hash. Snap to Ballard, fires over the middle, and incomplete. It was a pass broken up that time by the linebacker for Bluefield. Looks like it was Michael Everett who got a hand on it, and he actually collided with the player. 2 Bluefield people are down now. The Rams looking at an injury right here. Trying to make out who is on the ground for the Rams. But it is 3rd and 3, third and goal.
That was not a very smart pass attempt as Bluefield had 4 defenders all around 1 point wide receiver. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Ballard was thinking on that one.
So it is 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. And the player shaken up was Tyrese Henry, who gets up on his own accord, and he's going to jog off the field. Well, Point is had it their way so far after that first drive. They had nothing but runs going down the field and then capped it off with a touchdown from Derek Ballard on a run on the near corner. But now 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Bluefield looking for a stop. This drive started at the Rams' 32-yard line. Skyhawks looking for their second touchdown with 4:43 left in the first quarter. Snap to Ballard. He'll have to run out right. Looking for the corner. Bluefield all over him, and he throws it out of bounds. Looked like it was a design run from the start, but Ballard just threw it. There was no one in the area, but since he was out of the tackle box, he let it sail, and now it's 4th down. So now the kicking team right back out there, and Bluefield able to make a stop again even after that personal foul call on the field goal.
So, again, we could possibly come out of this drive with a little momentum and a little bit of a win, holding them to only 3 points, pending that we don't have another penalty on this field goal attempt.
Now, once again, a field goal for Thurston Jackson from the left hash. Bluefield stacking up the box. Jackson looking now for a 21-yarder. The snap, hold is down, kick is away, and good. So now it is 9-0 with a little bit more time left off the clock. 4:30 left to go here in this first quarter. And once again, that clock did not even start for that field goal. Nick,
no, I'm not sure what's going on with the clock operators this afternoon.
We will take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It's 9-0, Point with an early lead in the first quarter. Back here again on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It is 9-0, and Point is ready to kick after scoring on their first 2 drives of the game, but still a pretty good start for Bluefield after they gave up a long punt return. Point started out that drive at the 32-yard line and only came away with 3 points. So now Ballard with a long end-over-end kick on the far sideline as Jeffrey Hughes catches it at the 4, and now we'll try to cut it back up near sideline. Now jukes out far sideline with room to run. 25, and he's pushed out of bounds. Looks like they'll spot him right there at the 25-yard line, and Bluefield has 75 yards to go, looking for their first score of the game with 4:21 left in the first quarter. So, Nick, what have you seen so far?
I've seen a lot of dominance from point and not a whole heck of a lot from Bluefield. I think that our offensive line in that short series that we had to start out the game just got absolutely beat on every single play. We lost yardage. Our defense, that last drive, that's a plus. We came away. We gave them great field position on the punt return, and they only came away with 3 points. So let's see what our offense can come out, and let's see if we can just gain a couple yards, get a couple first downs.
Ball spotted on the far hash for Kaysen Witt, and he'll hand it off right up the middle to Malik Brown, who smashed at the line of scrimmage. And they have gone with Malik Brown 3 times on that little read play, Nick, and it has not worked out. That line of scrimmage has been gobbled up by the defensive line for point, especially for a guy like Dikembe Billingsley, 5'9", 290 junior, who is just right over Quante Hines, the center for Bluefield. So now it's 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 26-yard line as Witt is in the gun. Drops back and he'll flare it out to Brown, who can't haul it in. It was a design screen pass, and Brown let it go off of his left hand. Not a great pass from Kaysen Witt, and already 3rd down.
And we're stuck in these 3rd and long situations, a spot that it's really hard to excel in, whether you're the Bluefield College Rams or the Dallas Cowboys. This is not a place that you want your offense to be.
Well, it seems like the offense in these games has just stalled out early. And Bluefield has to rectify that in the past couple of games. They've done it in the second half. 9-0 the score, 3rd and 9 as Witt drops back under pressure, and he's sacked by a blitzer. And the tackling culprit that time for the Point Skyhawks looks like it was Jaden Longmire. Big-time sacker, rather, it was number 38, Braxton McCallum. Untouched on the blitz.
Yeah, that was a great lookout block from our offensive line.
Well, sarcasm aside, it's a 4th and long situation. Now back at the 18-yard line for Devin Jackson to snap it back to Drake Presley, who's spotted at the 2-yard line. And then Chase Turner, who had that big-time return, awaits at his own 35. Presley, a good punter. High snap over his head. He got a hand on it. Still waiting, and now he's going to try to run it. Misses, and the ball is recovered at the 3-yard line. Recovered at the 3 by number 30, Trenton Stringer. And the long snapping woes of Devin Jackson continue. So it was a high snap. Presley got a hand on it, tried to run out right, and almost got it off, but absolutely whiffed, and then slipped. Now it's 1st and goal from the 2. And that just has to be rectified. That's happened 4 times this year.
Right. And
all the way back to the first game against Cumberland in Tennessee, that gave up a touchdown. So now 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, already 9-0. 2:59 left to go in the first quarter. His Point is threatening to score for a 3rd time. Hand off to Ladarius Mathis right up the middle, and after getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, looks like he'll move up for 1 yard to the 1-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So already tough, 9-0 after another bad snap from Devin Jackson, and changes really have to be made. I'm Devin Jackson, a great tackler in his own right on the special teams end, but those snaps have to come down. So Ballard in the gun, hands it off to Mathis, rushes right side, and dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Skyhawks. So now it is 15-0 after the high snap, and Drake Presley couldn't get out of dodge. So now looking for the PAT coming up with 2:28 left in the first quarter.
This is just yet another slow start for this Bluefield College football team. I'm not sure what is causing that, if they're not prepared when they come into the game or if their preparation the night before is not there, but we start so slow.
Snap, and the hold kick is away and good. 16-0 here in the first quarter, and it has been a first quarter of mistakes for the Rams so far, as Devin Jackson is absolutely frustrated. Going to the sideline. We're going to be right back on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Well, I guess the band forgot to play right there after that second touchdown. It's 16-0 after a high snap from Devin Jackson went off of the hands of Drake Presley, and they were set to kick it away once again. Bluefield trying to look for their first score. They've had 2 3-and-outs early on. 2:28 left in the first quarter as Thurston Jackson kick. End over end, received by Jeffrey Hughes, far sideline, and he'll go straight down that far sideline. Untouched, has one blocker, cuts up at the 40, and then gets across the 45 up to the 48-yard line, and that has been the best play for Bluefield so far. They have great field position with 2:18 in the first quarter.
That might be just what the doctor ordered for this Bluefield offense, a little bit of a spark and just get some momentum coming back onto the field after that mishap on 4th down. They need to come out, clear their mind, and maybe toss the ball around a little bit. Those read option plays have not really worked yet. Just some quick passes to get the ball out of Witt's hands and just give that line a little bit of a rest.
I actually spotted them a yard closer to the goal line. They're at the 49 now. Bluefield looking to get into point territory for the first time in this game with the sun popping out of the clouds. Handoff to Malik Brown going near sideline, stomps his feet at the 50 and then cuts back up across into point territory at the 48. It's a gain of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. Johnny Myers back in the game after Bluefield had sat him with an injury the past 2 games. So far, no targets to him as Witt has only thrown to Antonio Strickland so far on a seam route right down the middle, incomplete. So now 2nd and 3 in point territory. Looks like a man jumped offside. Free play. Witt hanging far sideline for Antonio Strickland. Caught! And now they're in the red zone after Strickland was tackled at the 17-yard line. And the Georgia native makes a catch in his home state.
And that's something we've seen from Strickland in the past 3 weeks is the ability to fight off that defender that stripped all over him and still make a play.
And what a pass it was from Kason Witt, but the freshman was able to jump up and grab it. Now at the 17-yard line, a free play converted on, and Bluefield now in the red zone, down 16-0, under 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Going right to left, the Rams in the white jerseys, on a pretty humid afternoon now in Alabama, rather. Kason Witt in with Malik Brown. We've seen no Alex Martin or Rashad Butler so far. 2 receivers bunched out right. And a handoff to Brown right up the middle, trying to bump into some tacklers. And he moves up about 3 yards up to the 15-yard line. Had a look on the block on the outside right there, Nick. Looked like the Bluefield left tackle, Rashad Short, just pancaked the defensive end.
Yeah, he was all over him. And that's something that this offensive line needs to do. We haven't seen much of their power this afternoon.
Snap to Witt, drops back, looking right, hangs a fade to the corner, and past the dive of Antonio Strickland, who laid out to try to get it. So now it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 16-yard line. Should say from the 14. Now Bluefield has to get it up to the 8 for a fresh set of downs. 1:03 left in this first quarter. It is 16-0. Rams looking for their first score. This was right after a great return from Jeffrey Hughes. 1 receiver out left. Snap to Witt. Trots back. Dumps off a screen for Brown. Has it at the 15. Room to run at the 10, and a flag coming down. Looks like this one might be coming back, Nick.
Yeah, I think Johnny Myers had a little bit more of that jersey than he would like to admit. That's just another shot in the foot with the penalty, and that's been somewhat the story of our season is we make a great play, we get a couple yards, and it always comes back.
So it was 3rd down. It was likely to be 4th down even after the tackle.
Offense, number 13, 10-yard penalty, previous spot.
And you were exactly right. Now that holding penalty is actually another big loss for Bluefield because it makes it even harder for Tanner Griffith to try to sail a kick for the first Bluefield score.
That's very true.
So after that play, there's 54 seconds left in the first quarter. Bluefield still down 16-0. Still in the first quarter, it's been a long one so far because of those Bluefield mistakes, but now with their best chance here. Ball all the way back to the 24-yard line, and Alex Martin now in as the tailback. Fake handoff to Martin, throws for the middle, Antonio Strickland, and it's off of his hands. Strickland stopped running.
He did. He might have jumped for that one a little bit too early. That was a well-thrown ball. I'm not sure I'm not sure what he was doing.
Well, it looked like it was thrown a little bit behind him. It was a play action. Strickland had his man beat going for the middle of the end zone, and I think if Witt threw it a little bit towards the middle, Strickland would have kept on running and been able to make the catch. But now here comes the kicking team, and this is going to be a tough one for Tanner Griffiths. 41-yarder. This could be his longest of the year. Ball spotted on the far hash, no wind, so that could help the freshman from Gloucester. Low snap, hold is down, kick is away, and it is good. Tanner Griffith, a 41-yarder to put Bluefield on the board first. It is 16-3, 42 seconds left in the first quarter after the impressive kick from the reigning Appalachian Division Special Teams Player of the Week. Going to be right back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It's 16-3 point. Well, the band is already making their way out of here, so now it is eerily quiet here. But it is now 16-3, Bluefield ready to kick as Hugo Montalongo will actually be the place kicker for the Rams. Boots it all the way back to the 9-yard line where it's received by Chase Turner for the Skyhawks. Now juking around, dances to the 25, and then Isaiah Fenner and Caleb Jackson combine for the tackle, but a flag coming in late after the play. All the way back at the 20-yard line as Charles Ducksworth was on the ground. Haven't seen anything out of Charles Ducksworth yet today, Nick. Just one catch, but he is the best player in point history offensively, has all of the records.
Right, and I'm looking to see him get into the game as we get this call. I'm looking to see him get in the game on this series. We'll see if they want to throw the ball some more, but why throw it when you've dominated with the run this far in the game? And we'll just see how he gets incorporated into this game. Like you said, he's one of the greatest offensive players in point history.
So it was a block in the back for point, and that will push them all the way back to their own 10-yard line. So this is the worst field position they have had all game. Now Marquez Jackson, the running back, right back into the game after we saw Ladarius Mathis in as the running back. So now Ballard gets the shotgun snap, hands it off up the middle, and Tracy Parker Jr. gobbles him up at the 10-yard line. No gain, and it will be 2nd and 10. Well, Parker just shed off that first block, Nick, and Jackson had nowhere to go.
And that's exactly what we need to see is positive plays for this Bluefield defense on 1st and 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 from the 10-yard line. And now a flag coming down. Looks like this is going to be a false start on point. That sun really beaming down into our press box here. Now a false start. That'll push him back to the 4.
It's very overcast. Felt very nice all day long, and then
well, they never got the memo that it's actually October in Georgia. So now 2nd down and long to go from the 6-yard line. And another whistle. That'll be it for the first quarter. It's 16-3. Rams trying to come back, and they have point on the ropes here as we enter the second quarter on the Rams Digital Sports Network. back here from point. It is 16-3 starting out the second quarter. Now the Skyhawks are going right to left. Ball is spotted at the 6-yard line, 2nd and 14. Ballard with a play action, and that ball swatted away. Carlton Toussaint, the DB, was blitzing, and he got a paw on it and batted the ball all the way behind the end zone.
That was a great play because he had about 3 or 4 yards ahead of the receiver did. If they were able to complete that pass.
So now it is 3rd and 14 to go. Skyhawks in a weird situation here because they have played so well for so long in this game. Now 3rd and 14, Bluefield with 6 men in the box. Ballard with Jackson, the running back, by his side. Snap, fake handoff, looks left, fires a bomb, looking for Ducksworth, and it is broken up. Antonio Dawkins, the quarterback, with a great coverage, and that ball would have been hauled in right around the 44-yard line, but instead the corner got his hand up and smacked the ball down. So now punt time for the Skyhawks for the first time today.
That's a huge stop for this Bluefield defense, and it was a stop on the first set of downs, so we should come out of this with pretty good field position.
So it is 4th and 14. Ball is spotted at the 6, 14:50 left in the second quarter. And Charles Black, the Florida native, back to receive at the Skyhawks 45-yard line. Snap, and the kick is a end-over-end boot that doesn't get very far, takes a Bluefield bounce and moves up to the 20-yard line. Not a great punt, the first one of the day from Jordan Bell, and it rolls into the red zone. And now a flag coming out right when that play started. We'll have to see where this goes. Looks like this could possibly be on point, so that would help Bluefield out even more because right now it started at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, starting inside the red zone.
There is no foul for illegal formation. First down.
So there is no foul for that illegal formation. They got it right. So now 1st and 10 Bluefield at the 20-yard line. Last time they had the ball, they had a small drive for Tanner Griffith to boot a 41-yarder through the uprights, most impressive kick of the year. And now Bluefield with a chance to score for the second time, down 13. And maybe this is that pattern we've seen in the past couple of games, Nick. They let up some points early. I mean, they were down by 17 last week to St. Andrews, and now looking for their second score. So now Antonio Strickland, the wide receiver, out on the far sideline. Johnny Myers on the near. Now a handoff to Alex Martin, his first carry of the day, and the big fella goes right up the middle and wrestles for a few yards, not much though, and into the red zone a tad bit deeper, about to the 18-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And that's something that Alex Martin absolutely excels in, is he'll get stopped 1-2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll fight, and he'll still end up getting a positive gain out of it somehow.
Down by 13, Bluefield with a chance, 2nd and 8. Witt in the gun, Martin right behind him. Snap to Witt, play action, looks middle, throws in the seam, and it is caught for the touchdown.
No.
Incomplete, rather. He went down with the ball. Antonio Strickland just lost it. And it looked like from up here that he had it, and then when he rolled over, the ball came loose.
It did. That was a great play, great pass. And that's the 3rd time we've seen Bluefield go to that play, that post over top of the middle with Antonio Strickland. And I think Kason Witt has found his favorite receiver this season.
Yes. Well, now Antonio Strickland very frustrated. He's going to go to the sideline, and the new receiver subbed in. We actually saw throw some deep balls in warm-ups. Corbin Cash, the receiver, on the near sideline. Now on the far, it's Johnny Myers. Looks like there's an offside, free play, but instead they'll blow the whistle dead. So now point will have to give up 5 yards. So that hard count's working so far.
It is, and it used to all work last week against the Knights, and maybe that's something that Kason Witt, just one of those little things that he has in his arsenal to gain those extra 5 yards every now and then.
Offsides on the play was Joseph Jordan, the defensive lineman, so 3 more yards. It was 3rd and 8. Now it's going to be 3rd and 3. So instead of it being at the 19-yard line, going to move up to the 14.
We see Strickland come back into the ball game.
Now Strickland in as the wide receiver, and it looks like they were going to target Corbin Cash on a fade on that last play. So now Bluefield for a fresh set has to get up to the 10. 3rd and just about 4 yards. In the gun, Alex Martin. 7 men in the box for point. 2 receivers bunched out left, including Harold. Handoff to Martin. Bounces outside on a small spin move, and he'll get up to the 11. It's going to be just short, it looks like, Nick.
And Billy, if you're Dewey Lusk, what are you thinking?
Got to go for it, I think.
I agree with that.
Give it to
100%.
Alex Martin once again. Have to watch out, though. Point looks like they're going to load up the box. One-on-one coverage for Myers and Strickland. It's going to be a sneak for Witt, inching towards that first down markage. And does he have it? Bluefield seems confident, but so does Point.
I believe so, but they got a better view than I do down there.
Had to get up to the 10. It was 4th and about 1. Will they move the chains? Yes, 1st and goal, Bluefield. Now 13:38, Rams down 16-3, looking for their first touchdown of the game. Now in the gun once again, Alex Martin right behind him. Ball spotted at the 10. Snap, handoff, no, will keep it himself. Witt now juking, 5-2, touchdown! Kaysen Witt with a rushing touchdown, his 2nd of the year, and that play-action draw worked so well.
That was a great play, and when you think of Kaysen Witt at quarterback, you're not thinking of his legs as much as you are his arm. That was a great play, and I think he caught the defense off guard there.
And he certainly did. It was a last-second read. Looked like he was going to give it to Alex Martin. Bumped outside with a pump fake. Had nowhere to go, and now Tanner Griffith in to kick. Snap and the hold. Kick is away, and good. 16-10 now the score. Bluefield has scored on consecutive drives. Now within 6 after starting out the game down 16-0. We're going to be right back with more football here, 16-10 with 13-17 left to go in the second quarter.
Point University 16, Bluefield College 10. Connect and become a proud supporter of your Point University Skyhawks.
Bluefield scores on the cornerback keeper from Kaysen Witt. Now down 16-10 with 13-17 going left to right. Hugo Montalongo steps up to the ball and hits a line drive kick. Rolls all the way back to Ducksworth at the 9-yard line. He'll take it running near sideline. Has a block and room in front of him at the 50. Towing down the sideline 30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. Charles Ducksworth takes it all the way to the house. 91 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah,
and a flag coming after the play.
That was extremely excessive, that celebration. Heck of a run, but...
And Ducksworth, after the play, went down to the track and danced for a second, and he was pretty much untouched on that drive.
He was. That was just, once again, Bluefield gets a little bit of momentum, and then Point immediately takes it back.
So Charles Ducksworth puts them right back on the board. As it stands right now, it is 22-10. And that personal foul call likely to be taken on the kickoff on the next drive. I don't know if he's going to get yelled at by his head coach that time, Julius Dixon, in his 2nd season, but still have to be happy for him.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4, receiving team. That's 15-yard penalty enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
They said number 4, but that was definitely on Charles Ducksworth.
And we were just talking
Number
about
3.
when is he going to have his impact on this game.
There
and
it is, right
it
there.
happens on special teams, something that I was not thinking about.
Thurston Jackson in to kick the PAT. Snap, hold is down, kick is away, and good. So now 23-10, Bluefield, after scoring on 2 straight drives, gives up a 91-yard kickoff return touchdown to the senior Charles Ducksworth. So now it is 23-10, Bluefield getting the ball back when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Thurston Jackson back to kick this one for the Skyhawks. It's 23-10 after the kickoff return touchdown for 91 yards from Charles Ducksworth. And it was a 15-yard personal foul taunting call right after the play. So Jackson lets one sail from his own 20-yard line, received by Jeff Hughes at the 28. Now towing near sideline, juking move up across the 45 and up to the 46-yard line before being tackled by a few Skyhawks. And Bluefield will have decent field position to start out another drive. Well, they've scored on their past 2 offensive drives, Nick, and so far it looks like Cason Witt is starting to figure out the Skyhawks defense.
He is. He's starting to throw the ball around a little bit more with a lot of confidence. Antonio Strickland with that big catch earlier in the game. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see a lot more of Bluefield trying to air the ball out. As Alex Martin also comes into the game for, I think, his second drive. So we'll see if they want to get him incorporated a little bit more, too.
Well, Cason Witt on that last touchdown had it at the 10-yard line, faked the handoff to Martin, then kept it himself and ran into the end zone. Now in the pistol with Martin right behind him. A high snap will hand it off to Martin right up the middle, and he will get up across the 50 up to the 49-yard line, but a flag coming out because it looked like a helmet came off, and he still went for the tackle, which is illegal.
I believe it was a Bluefield offensive lineman that had one, had their helmet come off. So that's still a penalty, though, isn't it? If you don't completely
have to see
quit.
here what the call is.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, it'll be a gain of 6. Still talking. These referees have had their decent amount of conversations in this game. 23-10 the score. 12:50 left in the first half.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 77, playing without a helmet. 15-yard penalty.
So you were right. The freshman James Jones playing without a helmet. Unsportsmanlike conduct, and that will move it back 15 yards. And that is a relatively new rule in college football.
It is. And Bailey, not to go on a rant, but I'm not a fan of that. It's hard to tell a guy, hey, let's stop competing even when your helmet comes off.
Right.
15 yards, I understand having a penalty for it. You want to keep the player safe. But 15 yards, I mean, that is detrimental to a drive for a guy that's just trying to compete. And I understand where it comes from, but it's a hard call to make.
Now Bluefield has to be backed up all the way to their own 36, 1st and 20. Now Witt hands it off to Martin, a juking move up across the 40, and now up to the Bluefield 42 on a gain of 6. It's going to be 2nd and long, rather. 23-10, Bluefield down by 13. Fresh off of that 91-yard kickoff return from Charles Ducksworth. And this point defense has had a couple of sacks today already on blitzes. Now Witt in the gun, Martin behind him. Play action. Witt, pump fakes, fires near sideline looking for Black, and it's caught! The junior from Florida makes the catch and moves Bluefield all the way down to the point 30. What a pass and what a catch.
What a catch. One-handed catch from Black there. Cason Witt had him wide open on the little wheel route, and that play worked out to perfection. He was able to beat the outside linebacker. He didn't have the speed to cover him, and we get a first down. That's great, especially coming back off after that personal foul penalty.
6-0, 162. Charles Black with the catch. Now back in the pistol. Hands it off to Martin, right up the middle. Has a little bit of room to run, and he will jog up across the 25 to the 24 after running into a wall of point linebackers. So now 2nd and 5. Under 12 minutes left, actually under 11 and a half minutes left as the band has returned back here. They're on that far end zone. Bluefield going left to right. Trying to make another score. Just down by 13 back in this game, and they're going to line up in the I for the first time. So 2nd and 4 from the 24. Hand off to Martin, and he runs into a wall, but then bumps outside, and he's tackled by KJ Minifield up at the 22.
And Bailey, I'm not sure what Cason Witt's cadence is, but every single snap, you'll see those defensive linemen flinch just a little bit.
Well, that's a good idea because they have done a good job on free plays so far today, especially on that one catch by Antonio Strickland. That was a play they were going to gain 5 yards on anyway. Under 12 minutes now, 3rd and 2 from the 22. Have to get up to the 20. In the pistol, 2 receivers on the near side. And now an offside. It's going to be false start. Looks like it's going to be on McPhee for Bluefield.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Andrew McPhee jumped offside, and now you live and die really by that.
Right.
hard count.
I was going to mention earlier that, hey, we haven't jumped we haven't had a false start on Case-in-Witt's cadence, but you live and die by it, like you said.
3rd and 7. Ball is back at the 27. In the pistol again. Witt drops back, looks left, now goes back right, fires over the middle and hauled in. Antonio Strickland made the catch up at the 16-yard line, and he's having a day so far. 1st and 10 and a big-time 3rd down conversion.
And we've seen Strickland come into his own these past couple weeks, making big catches. And you've seen Case-in-Witt finally be able to get in the pocket, have a little bit of time, just enough time to get the ball off, and he's made plenty of completions.
Back in the pistol, 1st and 10. Delayed handoff to Martin, and Martin will stumble up to the 15-yard line, a gain of 1 for the junior from Dobson, North Carolina. So now 2nd and 9. And I think going back to what you said, Nick, as far as staying in the pocket, Witt just has confidence that was kind of lacking for Bluefield in the passing game in those first couple of games.
He wants to sit back there. He doesn't want to take off at the first hit. If his first read's not there, he'll stay in the pocket and look a little bit, and he's not afraid to take a hit.
In the gun. Play action. Brown in as the tailback. Now under pressure. He'll dump it off. Going for the fullback that time, but Stephen Pack, it went off of his hands and went out of bounds. So now it's going to be 3rd and 9. So Stephen Pack targeted for the first time today. Bluefield down by 13. It's 23-10. Big time 3rd and 9 here.
Witt and Strickland had a conversation after that play. I don't think that's the route that Kaysen thought Antonio was going to run right there.
3rd and 9 from the 15. Bluefield in the red zone. Snap. Witt fires a fade, looking for Strickland. Caught for the touchdown. Antonio Strickland has been the primary target today, and he has his first touchdown against Point. Bluefield back within 1 score.
And that's what we've seen Case-in-Witt want to do all day long, and great execution by both receiver and a great pass.
And Case-in-Witt absolutely picked apart Point in that drive. Just these short little passes, and Bluefield able to score on a pass here. Case-in-Witt with 2 total touchdowns, as it is a fake. Bluefield couldn't get the kickoff, and Zachary Wright on a bad hold had to roll out right, and he was tackled at the 10-yard line. So the PAT is no good. Griffith swung his foot, and it looked like he missed, and Wright kept it himself with nowhere to go. So now it is 23-16. Bluefield down by 7 when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Back in Valley, Alabama, Bluefield back within 1 score after the touchdown to Antonio Strickland on a pass from Case-in-Witt. Tanner Griffith back in as the place kicker, and he boots a long one far sideline before it's tackled by Chase Turner. Now Turner with a couple of men to beat, but Bluefield bringing the house, and DeMarcus Wimbush able to lay the wood at the 15-yard line, and that's the best special teams play of the day, Nick, because there have been some pretty off ones so far.
We've botched a couple special teams plays. That time we stopped them inside their own 20 on the 16, and this is the 2nd worst field position that they've started with today, but hey, they've been able to still do pretty much whatever they wanted. That last drive we did force a 3 and out, so let's see if we can repeat that success.
Now 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. Derek Ballard, who had 3 great drives to start, or really 2. That last one, they got the ball at the 2-yard line, but Point has been able to score. Now looking for a touchdown for the first time in the 2nd quarter. Straight up handoff to Jackson as Jackson jukes outside near sideline, still on his feet, and he stumbles all the way up to the 41. It's a gain of 25, and Marquez Jackson, his best run of the day so far. Now first and 10 at the 40-yard line. Bluefield with just 3 men on the line of scrimmage. Another handoff to Jackson. Now cuts out left, and Bluefield with Caleb Jackson and Marcus Wimbush able to make a tackle at the 45 after a gain of 5. That run defense, that is something that the Rams were a little bit more stout in. Thought that the pass was going to be a little bit tougher, but Rush has worked so well today for point. A second and 5 from their own 45. Bluefield is man in the box. Devin Jackson not in the game. Gallagher gets the stops, back, hangs one near sideline looking for Chase Turner. Incomplete. And it looked like Turner almost jumped up on his own going down. If he could have made that pass earlier, he would have time to move on the route. And Ballard with his quick little drop back. He had absolute confidence in that throw. Chase Turner was open. So now third and 5 from the 45. They go for the home run ball. Charles Ducksworth now on the near sideline with pressure put on by Antonio Dawkins. Two receivers out right on the far sideline. Ballard hands it off to Jackson. Jackson breaks the tackle at the 40, moving up, trying to get to the line of scrimmage, but Bluefield laying the wood again at the 44-yard line. Ends up being a loss of 1. Should have been a loss of 5, Nick, but still Bluefield able to hang tough. And fourth down coming up for the Skyhawks, and the punt team will jog out. Interesting, after almost executing that pass play to perfection, they go with the run, and now we'll have to punt it with under 8.5 minutes left. It's 23-16 in the second quarter.
I was surprised at that call also.
Johnny Myers back to receive the punt. And the last punt was only 20 yards from Jordan Bell. Now this time a duck punt high in the air, bounces at the 35 and takes a point roll across the 30 and up to the 29. So once again, not a great punt for Jordan Bell, who is also an offensive lineman, and now Bluefield will start at the 29-yard line. Kaysen Witt, rather at the 30, but Kaysen Witt has been automatic in these past couple of drives, Nick.
He has. He's looked incredible. He's had a lot of confidence back in the pocket, being able to drop back and throw it to his receivers. And like I said just a little bit ago, I think he has found the guy that he is going to look for, whether he's open or not, and that's Antonio Strickland. And
Strickland, after hauling in that last catch, back out on the near sideline under pressure by Devontae Ellington from point. Bluefield in the pistol, and the first carry of the day for Rashad Butler, who shimmies his way up to the 35-yard line on a gain of 5. Now, we've talked about it. The freshman from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, hasn't been in the game plan as much, and especially in that last game, 2 running backs for Bluefield had over the century mark in Malik Brown and Alex Martin, and now Rashad Butler getting the reps once again. He only had 20 against St. Andrews. Snap and a handoff to Butler, tries to bounce outside, works his way back in, and gains just 1 yard up to the 36. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
And back to that, early in the season, we both thought in that second and third ball game that Rashad Butler was going to be the guy. I'm not sure what's happening these past couple weeks, but Alex Martin and Malik Brown have carried the load. So let's see if Rashad Butler can get in here and fight for some more carries.
Ball is spotted at the Bluefield 36. Rams at the middle of the field. Witt in the pistol, has Strickland out to his right. Shotgun snap, play action. Now Witt takes it left side, juking move. Now a pump fake, and he'll dump it off. Caught at the 50. Jeffrey Hughes, or Johnny Myers rather, able to convert on the 3rd down. Kaysen Witt looked like he got smashed all the way back behind the line of scrimmage. Still got the pass off, and somehow Johnny Myers was able to make the catch on the near side, or the far sideline, and moved it up to the 46.
Kaysen Witt is a very, very tough quarterback. He keeps, when he gets mobile, when he starts running and moving around back there, he keeps his eyes downfield, and that opens up a chance for the scramble Joe to go into process and him make plays down the field.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line, and Witt dumps off a pitch to Butler, cuts back near sideline, and he will plunge his way up to the 41 on a gain of 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Now Bluefield in point territory with a little over 6 minutes left here in this first half. Been a fun one so far. After the Rams gave up 16-0 deficit, they have worked their way back into it, looking for the tie possibly. Now 2nd and 5 from the 41. High snap for Witt. He'll hand it off to Butler, and he will scoot up across the 41, or across the 40 rather, and up to the 37. So now 3rd and short. They have to get to the 36. Still in the second quarter, folks. Now under 6 minutes.
Along with Ross, number 44.
Going back to that I formation.
I formation. Witt gets the snap, hands it off to Butler, and he finds his way right into a wall of Skyhawks. Witt, the quarterback, pointing for a first down, but I don't know about this one, Nick.
It's going to be really close. We got a bit of a generous spot from the line judge running in up top.
They had to get it to the 36-yard line, and now they will take a timeout to measure. Still, though, I got to think, especially how well your defense has been doing on these past couple of drives, you might go for it here.
Oh, me too. I agree 100%. Put that faith in your defense because we have stopped them. The only time they've scored this quarter was on that long kick return for a touchdown. So our defense is starting to slowly figure them out, and our offense has been clicking on all cylinders these past couple drives. So I agree 100%. I would go for it if we don't get it.
Well, it looks like from up here that Bluefield is just about maybe a half a yard short. Now they'll bring out the chains. 5:14 left in this second quarter. Bluefield down by 7. It's 23-16. And that is just about right. Half a yard short. 4th and inches for Bluefield coming up. Kason Witt staying out onto the field. I don't think Bluefield even considered punting right here. They have moved the ball so well, and you got to see, well, Witt does have one rushing touchdown in this game, so he can make this work with his legs. Playing in his 3rd straight contest. Ball is spotted on the near hash. Bluefield going left to right. Sun has finally found its way behind some clouds on a humid day here in Valley, Alabama.
That Alabama sun's pretty warm. I'm pretty happy it went back away.
Back of the I formation, 4th and inches. Bluefield has to get it up to the 36-yard line. The tailback is Rashad Butler. Stephen Pack, the fullback. 2 receivers bunched on the near sideline, and Johnny Myers out far on the left. Whips it out to Butler, inching for the far sideline. He's got the first down after he dove for it. Went out of bounds right around the 33. Bluefield converts on the 4th down.
What a play. We saw the fake handoff there to the fullback and then a little pitch out, and Rashad Butler just beat 4-point defenders to the edge and really laid out to grab that first down. What an effort.
1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Kason Witt looks like he's going to line up in the gun, and Rashad Butler, after getting the job done, taken out of the game, and here's Alex Martin, who lines up right behind his quarterback. Witt, hard count, play action, looks down the middle, and he'll dump it off to his fullback, no gain, and a good tackle by Minifield. Hauling it in that time for the Rams was Kyle Cater, the fullback.
We haven't seen much of Kyle Cater since his first couple ball games.
And now a reception, a rare one for the fullback after Stephen Cater was taken out, who really is the primary fullback in those I formation packages. And Cater already taken out, and a new tight end brought in for the Rams, Jacoby Montgomery, the freshman from Petersburg, Virginia. Once again in the gun, a receiver out far side, Johnny Myers, and Strickland on the near side. Handoff, or he'll take it himself. Witt goes out left and stumbles across the 30 up to the 29. And that read for Kason Witt, he's shown his football IQ in these past couple of games, and he's making good decisions so far. Down 7 with under 4 minutes left in the first half.
He is. He's very good at managing the game, and that's the one thing that you have to do as a quarterback, is be able to manage your football team and manage the game and slow everything down when you need to, and just make smart decisions.
3rd and 4, they have to get the ball up to the 24. Ball is spotted at the 29-yard line. Witt, hard count, gets the snap, looks left, hangs a fade, going for Johnny Myers, and it is too far, incomplete. So now it's going to be 4th and 4, and you got to think maybe once again you have to go for it once again, very close to the red zone.
I agree. I think that we have to. This is 4-down territory. With 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in this first half, I would go for it.
And especially as far as special teams go, as the timeout is now taken by Dewey Lusk, his first of the first half. You got to think special teams has been an absolute detriment to Bluefield so far today. Devin Jackson taken out on that PAT attempt, and they brought in a new long snapper, Adam Casto, and that snap was low as well, so Bluefield failed on the PAT. So if you're the Rams, one of the last things you want to do is send out a special teams again.
Yeah, especially a team that you don't have confidence in. Every week Dewey Lusk praises his punter and praises playing the field position game, but all of that starts with a long snap, and we've seemed to have trouble with that this season.
And that just has to be something that is just rectified so easily. Well, it's 23-16. A lot of teams in action here at Point University. Bluefield Soccer also playing down the road, so there's a ton of Rams representation here on the Alabama-Georgia border. And now, as we expected, Bluefield ready to go. 4th and 5. Ball is spotted at the 29. Have to get up to the 24, and they will send out the offense to try to convert this. Malik Brown in as the running back, lining up right beside Kaysen Witt, who drops up in the shotgun. 3 receivers bunched out on the left as the ball is spotted on the left hash. Snap to Witt. Looks right. Has time. Now he'll draw it. Pump fake. Throwing a wide open man. Caught for the touchdown. Down the far sideline, and Charles Black made the reception. Bluefield back in business and a PAT away from tying it up.
Haley, there was nobody in the same time zone as Charles Black right there. And Kaysen Witt starting to take off and want to scramble for the first down, which he would have had, but he looks up the field and sees him wide open. That's a great, great play by this Bluefield offense.
And you thought that that might have been the right decision for Kaysen Witt, just to draw it and get the first down, but he had Charles Black wide open at the 2-yard line, who just had to dance into the end zone. It's 23-22, PAT ensuing for Griffith. Casto back in as the long snapper. It's a good one. Snap is away, kick is up, and good. Bluefield ties it up with 3:15 left to go in the first half after being down 16-0 to start out the game. They're the comeback kids, folks, and we're going to see them on defense when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Back here again, it's 23-23, and Tanner Griff sends a kickoff all the way back to Chase Turner at the 4-yard line for the Skyhawks. He has room to run and then bounces up to the 29-yard line on the far side of the field. And Point looking to get back in the lead after they stormed out to a 16-0 lead. Went back up 23-16, Nick, on that 91-yard kickoff return from Charles Ducksworth. But Bluefield right back in it once again. They have tied it up on that great passing play from Kaysen Witt.
And this is a situation that I think that this Point team is going to go into that passing attack. With 3 minutes left in the half, I think they're going to go for it and look for a lot of Ducksworth on this drive.
1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Derek Ballard in the gun. He has trips wide receivers on the near side. Tyrese Henry as well as Philip Tyler on the coverage. Now a dump off to the running back, and he whips past Tracy Parker Jr. And just a short gain on the play by Quay Hartfield. That's the first time the fullback has gotten the ball in this game, so now it is 2nd and 10 from the 29. Under 3 minutes, it's 23-23. Ballard in the gun. Hartfield back in as the running back right beside him. Now trips wide receivers right. Little flare out to Ducksworth. A juking move, or Turner rather. And a big-time tackle for Bluefield at the line of scrimmage from Jonathan Green. He saw that screen all the way, and Chase Turner had nowhere to go. It's going to be 3rd and 10. That's the first time, really, we've seen a screen. Now timeout called by Bluefield, who wants to get this ball back and maybe take the lead, because they actually get the ball in the second half as well.
Right, and there you see Dewey Lewis playing that aggressive style again, taking a timeout here. And these past 3 drives, this Bluefield College defense has looked very, very good, forcing 3 and outs. So let's see if we can force yet another one. And with an offense that is as hot as ours right now, trying to get another score right before this half would be a lot of momentum going into the half, and like you said, we get the ball back right after the half. So
right, and Bluefield just looking for a possible score here that could put them up by 1 touchdown or 1 field goal, and then get the ball back and score again, because Kason Witt already has 2 touchdown passes as well as a rushing touchdown in this game, has been on fire. Bluefield back in action at Mitchell Stadium next week, looking for their first road win on the year. Now, folks, this is a team that only won 1 game last year, and that was against Cincinnati Christian. Now looking for their 4th win. 23-23 after the timeout. It is 3rd and 11 from the 28-yard line. Ballard with Hartfield, the running back, right beside him. Bluefield with 7 men in the box and a blitzer on the outside. Could be Carlton Toussaint. Ballard back. Still under pressure. Devin Jackson tracks him down and trips him up down inside the 20. And Ballard went down at the 14-yard line. Devin Jackson coming back after that bad snap he had, gets it done on the defensive end.
And he's had a heck of a game thus far, as he has every week. He's probably one of our best defensive players. And that was a big stop by this Bluefield College defense as we force points at punt and get the ball back with plenty of time for this offense to score again.
And the punts so far have not been good for Jordan Bell. It hasn't been a special team showcase for either team as the clock ticks down under 2 minutes left. Bluefield with a ton of men on the line of scrimmage trying to block this one. Bell back at his own 5-yard line, and now whistles blow. This could be a timeout for Bluefield. I don't know why they waited so long. Point took their first time out of the half. So, Nick, start out 16-0 as we start to recap for these fans at home.
Right.
Bluefield gave up a great drive for Point. Ran every play on that first drive. They're able to cap it off with a bounce to the outside from Derek Ballard. And then the Rams on that last, or second to last score, I should say, they score a touchdown after a bad snap from Devin Jackson. Drake Presley dropped the ball after trying to make something out of nothing. Right. First and goal from the 2-yard line. They inevitably score. But then Bluefield, after being down 16-0, come all the way back, and now they've tied it up once again.
We played a great second quarter, and that second touchdown, going back to that with the muff snap, that was almost a gift that we just handed Point. And that's hard to look at right now.
Low snap for Jordan Bell, and it's blocked. Bluefield able to recover it at the 9-yard line. Devin Jackson got a hand on it, and Jordan Bell couldn't get the punt off. Recovered for Bluefield by Carlton Toussaint, and the Rams have first and goal. You knew they were bringing the house, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. They want to every single time. Devin Jackson, there you see it again. He had the bad snap earlier that gave Point great field position. He gets back there and helps in on the block right now.
Number 19 on the recovery for the Rams. Trying to see who that is. A couple of roster changes for Bluefield. Now looking to take the lead here. First and goal from the 9. High snap. Witt hands it off to Butler. Butler trying to work his way outside, but KJ Minifield, the linebacker, able to wrestle him down for short gain. And it's under a minute and a half left to go now. Second and goal. Bluefield has 1 timeout left.
Right. So we got plenty of time to at least hopefully come away with 3. But, of course, you want to get back in the end zone. Antonio Strickland still Point only, deciding to give him single coverage down here on the bottom.
At the 9-yard line, it is 2nd and 9. Low snap for Witt. Hangs a fade, looking for Strickland. Caught! Touchdown Bluefield, and the Rams take the lead.
Bailey, this is very fun to watch.
Absolutely
this Kason
right.
Witt to Antonio Strickland. I'm not sure why Point keeps going with that single coverage down there, because the referees are letting him play a very, very physical game on the outside, and Strickland just outmanning his opponent.
Rams up 29-23. Second touchdown reception of the game for Antonio Strickland. Already 3rd touchdown pass for Kason Witt. And it has been a Bluefield show after it was 16-0. Tanner Griffith back for the PAT with 1 minute and 1 second left in this half. A low snap. Kick is away, just past the blocker and through. It is good. 30-27. Bluefield putting on an offensive show. Up for the first time today here in Valley, Alabama against Point. And the Skyhawks will get it when we come back. Rams have taken the lead for the first time today. It is 30-23 with 1 minute and 1 second left. Ducksworth back to receive, as well as Chase Turner. Tanner Griffith sends a high-booted end-over-end kick back to Ducksworth, who will receive it at the 4-yard line. Now cutting back up towards the middle, a flag on the field, stumbling up to the 29-yard line. So as it stands right now, a 25-yard return, but a whistle blowing, and this could come back.
And Billy, you saw Duckworth and Turner right there switch at the very last second, so that they would almost trick Bluefield into kicking it to Ducksworth.
And Ducksworth already has a touchdown. It was 91 yards. That was the last score. 4-point. That was back when it was 23-9. And the Skyhawks absolutely stunned by the showing from Kaysen Witt, who is well on his way to having a career game. And they are still deliberating over this penalty call. Let's see what it is.
During the return, clip, receiving team, half the distance to the goal.
And a clip on point all the way back to the 15-yard line. So the Rams will now send the defense out with 53 seconds left to go on the clock, up 30-23.
They're sending out a defense that has played extremely well over the last 4 drives, forcing many 3-and-outs and not really allowing points to move the football at all.
1st and 10 for Ballard. A handoff right up the middle to Jackson, and Jackson stumbles up across the 15 and up to the 18-yard line. Rather, it was Ladarius Mathis, the other running back, for point. And the clock running down, under 40 seconds left now.
And you got to wonder, are they trying to score a touchdown or just try and bleed this clock off and get to halftime?
2nd and 6, another delayed handoff to Mathis, cuts it up far sideline, and Bluefield bringing him again. DeMarcus Wimbush chased him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 3, but a flag out on the field that stops the clock at 24 seconds. And these flags starting to pile up late here in the second half, or the second quarter rather. Point looks like it's on them. Every time they're not exactly sure what they're going to call. He has no intent. The Whitehead has no intentions of telling us what's about to happen here. And the referee's now moving the ball back on the far hash.
I'm not sure what's going on here, baby.
They don't either. They don't know either. It's a holding on point on the play that was already a loss of 3, and it's going to be on the left tackle, Michael Scott, out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Nope, Stockbridge, Georgia, rather. Just Scranton, Pennsylvania. Thought you'd like that. And all the way back to the 9-yard line. Either way, the left tackle will bring them back inside their own 10, and the clock still ticking under 20 seconds. 3rd or 2nd and very long, rather, and Bluefield calling a timeout. Last timeout, and Bluefield maybe wants a chance to get the ball with just about 5 seconds left, maybe.
Right, and hey, that's not a bad idea. Like we've said before, points punts have not netted that many yards this afternoon. We blocked the last one, and they're inside their 10, so maybe Dewey Lusk is thinking, hey, if we can get the ball back and maybe throw one home run to Strickland, who's come down with everything that Witt's thrown his way this afternoon, maybe we can get yet another score before we go into the half.
And Kaysen Witt has almost played backyard football to the point where he has rolled out, especially on that touchdown on the 4th down to Charles Black, try to tie up the game.
Right.
He rolled left. You thought he was going to run it, and he was very close to being over the line of scrimmage for a forward lateral, and on the last second decided to dump it off to his wide receiver, who was nowhere to be found for point at the 2-yard line.
Charles Black was waving his arms, doing everything he could to get noticed.
30-23 the score. Bluefield up, and they will get the ball to start off the second half. We're just in the second quarter, folks. It is 2nd and 16, all the way back at the 9. Hand off right up the middle to Mathis, bumping outside, and then Krista Berry able to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. And not sure why they called a timeout, because they will just let this clock roll. That is it for the first half. Bluefield will go into the locker room up 30-23 in a game they were down originally 16-0. We're going to take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bluefield up by 7 at half.
presenting the gifts are our Marketing Skyhawk directors, Dr. Joshua Boyd and Andrew Leitner. Feel free to join us in applause as we thank each of these directors. Stanford Watson, Hadley High School. Robert Mullinak, Beulah High School. Dietrich Lewis, Randolph County High School. Adam Mitchell, Hardaway High School. Dr. Derek Farrell, LaGrange High School. Kitty Deloach, Valley High School. Eric Vogel, Heard County High School. Derek Rock, Strong Rock Christian School. Johnny Hurd, Cruz High School. And Devin Driscoll, Taylor County High School. Thank you, directors, for serving your students and for being a part of the Point University family. And now the band will play Bad Romance. We would like to thank Dr. Derek Farrell, the director of LaGrange High School Band and the official music arranger of the Marketing Skyhawk, for donating all of the music that has been used today. Thank you, Dr. Farrell, for your support of today's event. We would also like to thank Bob Trimble and the representatives of Ken Stanton Music for being present today for instrumental repair needs. Ken Stanton Music proudly serves the students of Point University and several middle school and high school programs in our area. We conclude today's performance with the most important song of the day, composed by Dr. Derek Farrell. This is Soar on Skyhawk, the official fight song of the Marching Skyhawk. They're really good. They're also really loud. Yeah. Where'd you get your stats? How about another round of applause for today's amazing band? We want to thank the parents, chaperones, bus drivers, and school officials that are in attendance today. You are the real heroes that make things like this happen. We hope that you'll continue to support your students' music education experience. The search for the 2018 Marching Skyhawk is already underway. Did you know that all of our Young Georgia boy coming straight up out the east. Running 'cause my family got a piece. Never good.
Back here at half at Ram Stadium in Valley, Alabama. The Rams are up 30-23. Bailey Engel, Nick Ratliff, glad to have you with us here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It has been a fun one to watch, Nick, because Bluefield, after being down 16-0 and then giving up that 91-yard punt or kickoff return to Charles Ducksworth, the offense has been automatic.
And that's been the story of this first half, mostly the second quarter. We cannot really get it going in the first quarter there. But the story of the first half is Kason Witt, 9 of 16 for 149 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half here. Antonio Strickland catching 2 of those touchdowns, along with 2 more passes, totaling at 4 for 66. Charles Black with a big one-handed catch along the sideline, and then that touchdown pass where he was just wide open.
And you also have to just look at the mistakes that Bluefield made. They could be leading this game by more than just 7 right now, because you go back to that punt where there was a high snap from Devin Jackson, and then Drake Presley whiffed on the second attempt to try to kick it away, and they get the ball at the 2-yard line to score. And then that other special team botchery with the kickoff return. The Rams have pretty much dominated the game, and Kason Witt, after a couple of snafus on those first couple of drives, he has done a great job working Antonio Strickland into the offense.
Right, and we've talked about him this whole season. The first 3 games we highlighted him big, and he didn't do so much. But these past 3 or 4 weeks, he's really come into his own. And these referees are really letting him play physically outside, and he's taking advantage of that with those corners.
And those 2 touchdowns by Antonio Strickland have been on well-executed fades. Also have to think about Charles Black, and you and I were talking about him when we were off the air. Charles Black only has 2 catches, but they've been impressive 2 catches. The first one was a great play down the near sideline, converting on a 3rd down. He dove to catch it. And then the 4th down touchdown when Kason Witt looked like he was going to draw it, but Black waved that he was open and was able to make the catch for Bluefield to tie it up.
And Charles Black's a guy that also, along with Antonio Strickland, has really come into his own these past couple weeks, making quite a few big catches for us, and he looks very good in this first half.
Well, the running game has been a little bit more dormant for Bluefield. We saw Alex Martin and Malik Brown really tear it up on the end the last time, but Rashad Butler also working into this game. He has 19 yards, but really his big play was on that 4th and short, and they flicked it out to him on the fake fullback dive.
And he beat 4 guys to the edge with a real effort play diving to get that first down.
And Kason Witt, like you said, 149 yards. He has 3 touchdowns in the air as well as 1 on the ground. Alex Martin leading the way rushing-wise with just 21 yards. Rashad Butler with 19. Malik Brown with just 4 on 5 attempts, so not his best day after they were able to silence him on that first drive. Also, as far as special teams go, there have been the bad plays, but Tanner Griffith, wow, a 41-yarder.
Yeah, that was a very impressive kick. Reigning Special Teams Player of the Week, I believe, and he's looking very good early.
For Bluefield, still on the defensive end, Devin Jackson after that bad snap. He had a big-time sack on that second-to-last drive for point. But receiving-wise for Bluefield, Antonio Strickland, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns, the longest 31 yards, and then Charles Black, 2 receptions for 59 yards. Johnny Myers also back in, 1 18-yard reception, and Malik Brown, the only other Ram with some receiving yards in this game, 1 reception for 5 yards. So we're going to take a little quick break, be right back with the third quarter. Bluefield gets the ball back, folks, when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. They lead 30-23. Kicking team is out for point, and Bluefield just about ready to start out the second half. They lead 30-23. Bailey Engel and Nick Ratliff. Glad to have you with us once again on the Rams Digital Sports Network for this audio-only presentation of Bluefield College Rams football. Sun is out and beaming down here at Rams Stadium in Valley, Alabama, just miles away from the campus of Point University in West Point, Georgia. Thurston Jackson on to kick, and Jeffrey Hughes as well as Malik Brown joined in the back to receive this kickoff. Bluefield in the white, and now an end-over-end kick booted back to the 10-yard line, received near the far sideline for Jeffrey Hughes. Toes up across the 30-yard line, and it stumbled on the tackle by Zach Johnson for point. And Bluefield will start out at their own 32-yard line to start out a drive with 14:54 left in the third quarter. Kaysen Witt has been automatic. Bluefield has rarely had to send out the punt team since that first quarter, and it's because Kaysen Witt has just been able to see where a play isn't going to work out, and then he makes a good decision.
He has a lot of confidence back in the pocket, and especially when he's starting to move around. He's still looking downfield, and he's found Charles Black and Antonio Strickland plenty of times. What I'm looking to see in the second half is, and doesn't seem like Point's going to do it here on this first play, is a lot more coverage over Antonio Strickland. They're still going with man-on-man, and that just has not worked out for him.
Butler in the gun, and now a handoff to Butler on the left side. Cuts back up towards the middle. Gets past the secondary and has the first down at the 46-yard line. So that was a good little misdirection. They brought Churchy Harold, the slot wide receiver, from motion to left to right, and then handed it off to Butler on the counter left side, and then moved it up for 15 yards to the 45-yard line. Once again in the gun, three receivers out left. Another handoff to Butler, left side of the center, and he works his way up to the 50-yard line after being tackled by Cameron Weems.
And this is the Rashad Butler we saw in those first couple of ball games. A lot of confidence. He's a one-cut guy. He'll have that one cut in the backfield and then just put his head down and try and get as many yards as he can.
Second down and 5, right at the 50-yard line. Bluefield has already moved 20 yards in just 2 plays. Witt in the gun, 2 receivers on his right as well as a running back. And another delayed handoff to Butler. Left side has a small hole and then only gets about 1 yard after the linebacking core swallowed up the running back who was just towing in high. So now Rashad Butler getting a few more carries, but now it's going to be 3rd and 4.
See Walter Harrell come back into the game on this 3rd and 4 situation.
Tight end Jacoby Montgomery taking off, and he'll jog over on the right side. Bluefield up by 7, now 13-40. This could be big if they score on the first drive of the second half. 3 receivers bunched near sideline. And now it looks like a false start with flags flying in the air on Bluefield. And that's the second false start of the game, Nick, on Andrew McPhee.
Yeah, he's had quite a few penalties early in the season. Well, we're about halfway through, believe it or not. But
it's flown by.
Yeah, absolutely. He's struggled a tad on that offensive line, an older guy. But I think he'll figure it out. He's been a core lineman for this for this Bluefield College team. He's done a very good job over his 4 years here. So
3rd and 9 for the Rams. Butler right behind Witt in the gun. 3 receivers once again bunched out left side on the left hash. Now Witt with a play action. Looks down the middle. Under pressure, rolls out right, looking for a man. Throws incomplete. Looking for Churchy Harold, and Harold had a man beaten and went off of his left arm, and Bluefield will send out the punt team on a missed opportunity to go up 2 scores. And Witt had to make something out of that play, Nick, and it looked like Harold was open.
He did, and I thought he was open. I didn't think it was that bad of a thrown ball, but just off the hands of the newfound receiver.
And Harold, like we said, has been the quarterback for those first couple of games, so now Witt looking to go 3-0, already 2-0 in his past couple of starts. Devin Jackson back in as the long snapper. Drake Presley, the punter, back to his own 32 with Chase Turner ready to receive at the point 10. Good snap to Presley, works his way up, and a line drive spiral on the near sideline. Turner lets it take a bounce, and it will roll inside the 5 and out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Masterfully crafted punt by Drake Presley, and they pin down point to start out their first drive.
We say it week in and week out, but Drake Presley is an incredible punter. Nobody touched that ball. It rolled out right around the 1-yard line. That was just a great play, and Dewey Lusk, I'm sure he'll bring that up this Thursday.
Well, he always brings it up in that press conference, how much he likes the field position game played by Drake Presley, his main chess piece, if you will. So now they actually move the ball up to the 2-yard line. Ballard with Marquez Jackson, his running back on the right side. Wide receiver on the near sideline, matched up with Isaiah Fenner is Trey Peters. Bluefield with a sack here could get a safety. 13:07 left in the third quarter, up 30-23. And Ballard with an audible moves Marquez Jackson over on his left. He has 2 receivers out on the far sideline. Quick handoff to Jackson on the 2, and then he will toe up. Bluefield bring in the house, and DeMarcus Wimbush, who has been all over the place for the Rams on the linebacking core, able to stand him up, and they blow the whistle before he hits the ground.
And we're seeing this defensive line that got beat up on a little bit early in that first quarter really start to take hold and show their power.
2nd down and 8 at the 7 or the 6-yard line, rather. And Ballard is taking his time looking at the offensive coordinator.
Oh, we have the referees having another conversation this afternoon.
Another conversation, probably where they spot this ball, because Jackson never went down on the ground.
Set the clock to 11:53. 11:53.
And they are going to push the clock all the way down under 12 minutes. As it stood, we talked about the clock problem so far in this game.
Yes.
It has not played on every play, so now that's a minute shaved off, and now the clock resuming. 2nd and 8, Ballard. Shotgun snap, hands it off to Jackson, and Jackson works his way up, towing up to the 9-yard line on a gain of 2. It's going to be 3rd and about 4.
And Billy, this run for point has not really worked out since that first quarter. I'm not sure why they haven't changed it up and tried to get the ball out to the receivers.
Well, the linebacking core for Bluefield, DeMarcus Wimbush at the mic, and Logan Hinnant as well as Caleb Jackson on the edge have done a great job silencing it. 3rd and 4, and Ballard takes it up the middle, dancing across the 20, room to run, and DeMarcus Wimbush brings him down after a long gain up to the 36-yard line. It's a gain of over 20 yards, 1st and 10 point.
Let's go, Skyhawks.
11:11 on the clock as it is now stopped here in the third quarter. Bluefield still defending that 7-point lead. They have not given up a score since the 91-yard kickoff return touchdown from Charles Ducksworth. Now Bluefield with 6 men in the box. Another handoff right up the middle to Jackson, and he works his way up to the 44-yard line after being tackled by Caleb Jackson.
Jackson on the tackle for Bluefield. Going to bring it all
And
the
it
way
will
up
be
to
1st and short after a gain of 8.
4-yard line.
At the 44-yard line, they have to get to the 46 of point to get a new set of downs as the sun is beaming through those clouds and making it very humid. Fans starting to pop up those umbrellas, as they should. In the gun, 3 receivers out left, a high snap and a handoff to Mathis this time. Untouched, up at the 40, clunking around, breaks tackles 25-20, cuts near sideline, looking for a block. He gets it, touchdown point. 54-yard run for the backup running back, and he took it all the way to the house. Point with a chance to tie it up.
Bluefield had 2 defenders there trying to lay a big hit instead of wrapping up, so he just bounces off those 2 tacklers and takes it to the house.
And the Rams just looked like they had to wrap up, and that looked a little reminiscent of how they were on the first drive. So all of a sudden, folks, we have a ball game once again. Thurston Jackson in to kick the PAT. Snap is low, hold is down, chipping kick through the uprights, good. And we are tied, 30-30, third quarter. Got a ball game, folks, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy for the Rams. Tied up in a shootout here in Valley, Alabama. And Bluefield will get the ball back when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network.
College, 30.
(30-30) the score between these two Mid-South Conference teams. Bluefield ready to receive after the 54-yard run from Ladarius Mathis after he took it all the way to the house. and has now tied it up 30-30 with 10:19 left in the third quarter. End-over-end kick sent by Thurston Jackson out of bounds on the far sideline, and Bluefield will start out with good field position.
And there's just another special teams mishap.
We have not seen great special teams from either team today other than that block. I guess depends on whether you are Bluefield or Point fan. Bluefield
Right.
with that punt block from Devin Jackson back at the 9-yard line right before the end of the half. And Bluefield will allow them to re-kick it looks like.
Free kick out of bounds. Number 18, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
And they will push it back 5 yards, and Thurston Jackson will re-kick. All the way back to the 35. Jeffrey Hughes does have a good return in this game. Malik Brown with no return yardage for Bluefield. They have targeted Jeffrey Hughes, who is the kickoff returner on the far side. Bluefield going right to left, wearing the white jerseys, blue helmets, and blue pants today. Point wearing the navy blue jerseys, navy blue pants with a little bit of Carolina blue trim and yellow numbers and letters across the chest. A lot of blue here today. Some fans making it out to see Point and a decent Bluefield contingent.
Absolutely. We traveled pretty well.
Thurston Jackson sends an end-over-end spinning kick all the way back to the 10, and it's fielded by Hughes, who's trying to go back near sideline. Chased down by some Point Skyhawks, jukes up at the 30, and stumbles up to the 31-yard line before being tackled. Now Bluefield will have 69 yards to go if they want to get into the end zone with 10:10 left in the third quarter. And that last drive for Bluefield, Nick, it looked like Casey Witt was trying to work some offensive magic again, maybe some backyard football opportunities he had there for Churchy Harold, but the pass just couldn't be reeled in.
Right, and you got to wonder what kind of adjustments this Point secondary and Point linebacking core made at the break to stop some of that backyard football rollout and just try and find out who's open.
Bluefield in the pistol. Kyle Cater, the fullback, on Witt's left, and Malik Brown, the running back, behind him. Hand off to Brown. He scoots and has a little bit of room before jumping to the 35. 4-yard gain for the running back from Charlotte, North Carolina, and it will be now 2nd and 6. Malik Brown actually got to see his family yesterday when we were in Charlotte, North Carolina. Team stopped at a high school to do a walkthrough, and his parents came to see him. So now 2nd and 6 as he is still in, the running back behind Witt in the gun. Play action, Witt dances back, under pressure, rolls out right, looking for a man, now fires far sideline, incomplete. Bobbled by Antonio Strickland. Looked like that was a catchable ball as well.
It was. That was right in his breadbasket there, right in the numbers, worst place you want to throw the ball to him. And that's the thing. We've seen Strickland come up with those big plays, but can he make those the normal plays, I'll say, consistently?
3rd and 6 from their own 35. Bluefield has it on the left hash. Point lining up. They haven't shown blitz on every play, but they have made Witt roll for it as Minifield is the mic. Low snap for Witt. Now a pump fake, and he is sacked. Minifield, as well as a few other Skyhawks, bringing him down for a 5-yard loss at the 30. Witt brought down, and now Bluefield has a man down on the field. Looks like it's number 77, the freshman James Jones, shaken up on the play, and it's going to be 4th and 11 for the Rams. Well, the blitz package actually converted that time for the Skyhawks, and now it looks like a shift in momentum, Nick.
Right, and that's the last place you want pressure if you're a quarterback. You do not want pressure up the middle. If you get it from the outside, you can step up and try and make a play, but when you got it right in your face, you can't look down the field, and you got nowhere to escape.
And for the Rams, they are in a close one, and to have one of their starting offensive linemen down and noticeably very hurt right now, laying right around the 26-yard line. Training staff coming out for the ailing freshman tackle. That'll bring us to a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. 9:26 left to go in this third quarter, all tied up, and the punt team about to come out for Bluefield. James Jones taken off of the field, and the freshman tackle carted away. So now 4th and 11 from the 30-yard line. Drake Presley back to punt, and Chase Turner for point, ready to receive at his own 25. Another punt, and it's end over end, wheeling all the way to Turner on a bounce. He gets it and is immediately dropped by Isaiah Fenner. And the cornerback was not fooled by Chase Turner, who elected to try to receive it but had nowhere to go. And the young man from Virginia Beach with a great special teams tackle, and that is where they will start. At the 26-yard line, point, Nick, they got the run attack better. Back again.
Right, and I was saying before that last drive, why haven't they thrown the ball? Well, they just showed me why they haven't thrown the ball, because they have a lot of faith in that run, and I think that they're going to stick with it, live and die, apparently.
Ladarius Mathis with a 54-yard run to pay dirt, where he just bounced around the Bluefield secondary. They just did not wrap up. And now Marquez Jackson back in as the running back. Charles Ducksworth, who has had a pretty quiet day out on the left hash as the slot receiver with Chase Turner. Hand off to Jackson, trying to cut right side, almost tripped up, and Bluefield tracks him down on the tackle. And the tackle was made by Carlton Toussaint. Now the Rams dropping him for no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 26.
About 9.5 for the Skyhawks.
Isaiah Fenner is the cornerback on the near sideline. Ballard hasn't gone to the air as much.
No, this is not what we expected.
3 men on the line of scrimmage. A fake handoff, whips it out left side, caught by Turner, works his way back in, cuts towards the middle, juking again, still on his feet, toes across the 35 and up to the 37-yard line. First down, and that was a great screenplay.
It was. He was planning on coming all the way back across the field, and he did. Made a couple Bluefield defenders miss and got behind those big fellas up front.
So up at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Derek Ballard trying to take the lead. It's 30-30. Little over 8 minutes left in the third quarter. They scored on their last drive. A high snap, fake handoff, and Ballard takes it out left side, going near the sideline, and then on the tackle, Bluefield with Carlton Toussaint wrestles him out of bounds. After a short gain, it'll be 2nd down. And they will spot the ball at the 42-yard line, so a gain of 4. So now 2nd and 6. It's been a fun one, folks, 30-30. Got to see where the offensive seesaw really tilts. It was tilting towards Bluefield there at the end of the first half, and now it's starting to work its way back the Skyhawks way as the sun goes down. Snap to Ballard, handoff right up the middle to Jackson, who put his head down and then just stormed up close to the first down marker at the 47-yard line. Have to get to the 48 for a first down, and it will be 3rd and 1. So Bluefield with a chance to make a big stop.
But this is reminiscent of that first quarter where we just could not slow them down. It seems to be the same way now.
So now 3rd and 1 in the gun. Marquez Jackson, the running back. Hand off to Jackson, works his way right side. Caleb Jackson able to make the tackle. Very close, and I don't think he got it.
And Bailey, we have great position on this one. We're right here on the line, and I agree with you on that. I do not think that he made it, but I do think that point, if they did not make it, we'll go for it right here.
And now they're eyeing it, and they do give a generous spot, and they will move the chains. Got up to the 48-yard line, which is what the doctor ordered for a first down, and good conversion for the Point Skyhawks, despite a great rush on the outside by the freshman from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Caleb Jackson. So they've gone with the run, except for that one screen pass that was a 12-yarder. Now Jackson lines up to the right of Derek Ballard. Hand off to Jackson up the middle, bumping around across into Bluefield territory before being tackled near the right hash up to the 47-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. It is noted that this game has moved pretty fast. Still tied at 30-30, under 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And both teams not going with the huddle. Days of the huddle are dead, apparently, in NAIA.
They are, and I absolutely hate it.
Low snap to Ballard. He's under some pressure, and then fires far sideline. Diving grab. Was it completed? Yes, by Chase Turner. He lunged out on the far sideline, and the young man hauled it in at the 30. Good gain for point, and they are just inching closer to the Bluefield red zone. Looking for a lead, and the clock will resume. 5:53 on the clock.
Point just used Ducksworth to run that safety off and free up Chase Turner on that play.
High snap, Ballard bobbled it, and he just laid down on the ball back at the 42-yard line. Caleb Jackson was in on the blitz, and now looks like he must have a Charlie horse or something. He's calling for a substitute. Devin Jackson will come in. But a high snap, and that definitely helped Bluefield because that ends up being a loss of 7. So it'll be 2nd and 17.
Right, and that'll slow down the momentum of this Point offense that has just been all forward here so far in the second half.
Rather, it's back at the 38-yard line. So 2nd and 18. Ballard, a high snap, fakes the handoff, whips it out left side to Ducksworth. Ducksworth toes near the sideline, still on his feet, and then brought down, and it looks like a late hit. They will not get the flag, and one coming after the play. But, Nick, I got to think this one might be on Charles Ducksworth.
And Bailey, I agree 100%. You know the old rule, if you retaliate, you usually end up getting the penalty, and I think it was well-deserved there.
Well, in Ducksworth's defense, it looked like Logan Hinnett came down late after the play, and then the flag did not come, so Ducksworth got up, tapped him on the head, and a flag came out later. So I have to see who this is on, either Bluefield's Logan Hinnett or on Ducksworth.
After the play, first out, offense number 3.
And it's going to be on Ducksworth.
That was a very vicious tap, I might add. Vicious tap. But, yeah, you cannot retaliate. If the referees don't call it, you can't take that into your own hands. This is not a sport like hockey where you can kind of police yourselves. You just got to let it go and move on.
So now a big loss of 15 all the way after the play, which wasn't even for any gain. So they move the ball all the way back into Point territory at the 49-yard line. They have to get up to the Rams 20. So it will be 2nd and very long. Have to get about 30 yards. 2nd or 3rd and 32. 3 receivers out right. Bluefield catching a break with just 3 men on the line of scrimmage. Now bringing the blitz. Ballard spins out right, settles his feet, throws for the middle, and it is incomplete. Charles Ducksworth was the intended receiver, and he pushed Philip Tyler to the ground. No flag called. Ducksworth actually got 2 hands on it on a diving play, and now it'll be 4th and 32, and really Point just shot himself in the foot right there.
100%. I was about to say the same exact thing. Took the words out of my mouth. That was, I mean, they're driving down very well, and then you have the one penalty, and then you have a very silly personal foul penalty where your just emotions get out of check. And Bluefield's in great spot. We got to get the ball back, and we got to put points on the board, take this momentum away from them.
And remember, the last time that Jordan Bell went back to kick, it was blocked. So Bluefield lining up like they are going to do it again. Devin Jackson coming with the rush. Bell gets the punt off, and it's a duck line drive received by Johnny Myers at the 11. Now cuts back near side, dancing at the 15, works his way up to the 20, and then tackled, pushed back, wrestled out of bounds all the way at the 17-yard line. So it looks like we're going to have to see where they give him some forward progress, but Bluefield almost with another punt block, but instead a good punt for Jordan Bell, his best of the day. And they will not give him generous forward progress at all, Nick. It's spotted all the way back at the 17.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was not a great spot. But at the same time, this Bluefield offense needs to come out, and they need to start clicking like they were in that second quarter there when Case and Witt ended up with 3 touchdowns in that first half. Well, Alex Martin coming in, so let's expect to see a lot of him.
4:22 left in the third quarter for the Rams, still tied up 30-30, trying to jump out ahead. Again, they led 30-23 at halftime before the 56-yard touchdown. Hand off to Martin, going left side, a stiff arm, and then bumping around, brought down for a loss. On the tackle was Javon Horton. And Bluefield losing 1 yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
And that's not typically the play that you'll see them call with Alex Martin in the game. He's not much of an east and west runner. He's much more of a north and south. Put your head down, grab a couple yards, and do it all over again.
So now it is 2nd and 11 back at the 15-yard line. Bluefield has to get it up to their own 26. Witt in the gun, 3 receivers out left, a hard snap, no flag. Hangs in the pocket, fires far sideline, and it goes right over the head of Antonio Strickland. It'll be 3rd and 11. And you're absolutely right, Nick. Alex Martin isn't the guy that bounces outside. More so, you see plays like that with Rashad Butler or Malik Brown. Martin's a guy that has to break away from that linebacker and possibly get about 2 or 3 blocks to make something happen.
Right. He's more physical of the 3 running backs we have. The other 2 very, very quick and speedsters.
At the 15-yard line, 3:38 all tied up. Bluefield has to get it up to the 26. Play action. Witt hangs in the pocket. Far sideline, and it is incomplete. Looking for Charles Black, and another 3 and out for Bluefield. We'll send out Drake Presley again with 3:32 left. 4th and 11. And a good stop for Point, who looks like they have made some adjustments here in the second half, Nick.
They have. We can't get anything going. We can't complete a pass. Our running game's getting stuffed on 1st and 2nd down, and that's never a situation you want to be in as an offense. Looks like Point's going to bring a lot of pressure on Devin Jackson and Drake Presley. Eerie similar situation that we had in the first quarter where we had a bad snap.
All tied up at 30-30. Chase Turner back to receive at his own 41. Need a good snap from Devin Jackson here. And it's a good one right to the chest of Presley, who sends an end-over-end kick, received at the 50 by Turner. Juking move, now up at the 45, flags flying everywhere. Going down the near sideline, 25-20, and he is brought out of bounds at the 16-yard line. But this will come all the way back. One of the referees at the line of scrimmage threw a flag all the way up to the 50.
I was going to mention that. That was about a 30-yard flag throw there.
Pretty impressive. You showed a gun.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was a very obvious call.
Which would be a block in the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Rams defense coming out looking for another stop. And those penalties have stopped Point. Saw on that last drive, they got to the red zone and then, or nearly the red zone, and then Charles Ducksworth with that personal foul call after the play brought them 15 yards behind the play.
Block in the back. Return team, number 80. 15.
And the block in the back called on Sawanje Henderson, the freshman from Albany, Georgia. That brings the ball all the way back to the 40 instead of the 17-yard line of Bluefield. So Point will start out in their own territory here. And the Rams line up with 7 men in the box. Derek Ballard in the gun. He has 2 receivers bunched down on the far sideline, 1 on the right. Handoff right up the middle to Mathis, and Mathis immediately swallowed up by Logan Hinnett, who just got a hold of his ankles and brought him down at the 40. And now the referee's calling time. And I think that they might want to talk this one over once again. Maybe some problems with the clock.
Official timeout.
As it stands right now, 2nd and 9 from the 41. And they are talking on the far side now with seemingly the Bluefield staff.
Yeah, Dewey Less comes out from talking to his players to have a chat.
The last play, it was
looked pretty cut and dry to me. I'm not sure.
Mathis, yeah, so that's why I have to think it's something with the clock. It's at 3:08 right now. 30-30 the score, 3rd quarter. Both teams really making some defensive stances in the second half. Now the referee, white hat, jogging right back to the middle of the field. And now he will talk it with Julius Dixon, the head coach for Point. We are not getting any word of what this is, but the referees have taken a good amount of time conversing in this game than any other game we've seen with Bluefield this year.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if they're all trying to make some nice dinner plans for this afternoon or
well, if they are, they're going to miss them because this has been a pretty long game.
All right, let's figure out what this is. I'm pretty curious now.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to turn around and announce it either.
All right, well, how about that?
So we'll never know.
No.
It's at the 41-yard line, blows the whistle, 2nd and 9. Bluefield lining up with 4 men on the line of scrimmage. Bobby McBride on the left side. Ballard in the gun. Mathis is running back on the left. Play action, looks left, fires, and it's caught and dropped by Ducksworth. Thought about running before he had it, and a flag came out late after the play.
And Bailey, if this is, I'm pure speculation. If this is roughing the passer here, I'm going to be a little upset about it.
3rd and 9 as it stands now before the flag. And we can't have a flag without a gigantic conference about it.
It is frustrating. It is frustrating.
Well, it's not that it's frustrating. It's just a lack of information that's being presented.
Ineligible man
An eligible man downfield for point.
5-yard penalty, second down.
And that will remain second down. So going back to that last play, even though it was going to be wiped off because of the ineligible receiver downfield, Ducksworth still should have had it.
Oh, absolutely. I think you heard a little bit of footsteps. Maybe the throw was on his back shoulder, but that's still a ball that one of your best players in point history needs to come up with.
Ballard rolls out left towards his trio of receivers, hangs a deep ball, looking for Ducksworth, caught! Keeps a man or a foot in bounds at the 20-yard line and then ran out. They are now in the red zone on what a bomb by Derek Ballard.
And that's what we've been worried about the entire day is when is that ball going to come?
Philip Tyler was on the coverage, and now Charles Ducksworth makes up for the drop, and they will spot it at the 22-yard line. Perfectly executed play for Derek Ballard, and now they are ever so close to the red zone and a lead, tied up 30-30, and another timeout called by the referees. Had to move the chains up to the 22, and now the clock will resume with 2.5 minutes left to go in the third. 30-30 the score, left hash. They have one receiver on the near sideline. Snap and a handoff to Mathis, right side of the line, and then Bobby McBride jumps in the air to wrestle him down at the 16-yard line. Gain of 6, it'll be 2nd and 4. And now an injury. Looks like it's for Bluefield. I'm going to see who it is. But still, we're starting to see that point offense start to click again. It seems like in the odd quarters. First quarter, they did a great job, jumped up to a 16-0 lead. And now it's Caleb Jackson on the ground for the Rams, and that could be a big loss because he has been all over the field, running like a madman for the Bluefield defense today.
Celebrate 80 years of impact with the Point University.
But then in the second quarter, Kaysen Witt got something going, and then so far hasn't had a chance in the third quarter.
No, and Bailey, if that odd quarter continues, we'll apparently have the advantage in the fourth. So we haven't been able to slow down this offense, running the ball, and then they just had that big long pass to Ducksworth right there. I'm not sure what's going on, but we have not looked very good defensively or offensively for that matter in this second half.
Oh, Caleb Jackson back up and walking off of the field on his own accord. Bluefield defense returning to the field. Ball will be spotted at the 16-yard line, 2nd and 4 for a fresh set of downs. They have to get up to the 12. And Derek Ballard, fresh off of a gigantic pass to his best receiver, Charles Ducksworth, lining up in the slot. He caught it on the far sideline. Now has a receiver in Trey Peters matched up one-on-one with Isaiah Wiggins. Lining up in the pistol, Ladarius Mathis, the running back behind him. High snap, hands it off to Mathis, and Mathis went straight up the middle before Chris DeBerry blitzed in on the outside and made the tackle for a short gain. It'll be 3rd and 3. Moving the ball up to the 15. They have to get to the 12. Once again in the pistol, a chance for point in the red zone. Bluefield hoping to maybe make a turnover or send out the punt or the kickoff team. Hand off to the fullback, and he's still met with so many tacklers at the line of scrimmage. And the young man, Keith Adams, had nowhere to go. And Bluefield will stop him for a 4th down. Ballard looking at the sideline. And it looks like he's going to stay out there, Nick. It's tied up 30-30 with a little over a minute left in the third quarter.
Right, and this is a tough spot because this should be a makeable field goal for a college kicker. But, they're going to take a risk right here and try and go for it, it looks like. But they're wasting a lot of time. I'm not sure if they're just going to wait and maybe decide and call a timeout or.
Well, it's under a minute left. The play clock has ticked down to 10 seconds. And it looks like that's exactly what Julius Dixon and his team will do, is call a timeout with the third quarter running down to 40 seconds. Timeout called, and it will stop at a flat 40. Have to see if they want to go for it here. It's 4th and 3. Ball spotted at the 15. Have to get it up to the 12 when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. A huge 4th down coming up for point. They will send out the kick team on 4th and 3. It's 30-30 after the timeout, going left to right. Thurston Jackson in for a 32-yarder. Lines up, and remember, folks, they have faked a PAT so far today. They have to get up to the 12-yard line, so have to watch out for the hard count as well. Snap is low, kick is away, and it is good. 32-yarder right through the uprights for Thurston Jackson, and they convert. 33-30 now the score. The Skyhawks back in the lead, but Bluefield avoiding giving up a touchdown. They'll get the ball back right back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Thurston Jackson ready to kick away after he takes the 33-30 lead with 34.8 seconds left here in this third quarter. Bailey Engel and Nick Ratliff, glad to have you with us once again on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It's been a fun one, back and forth contest, but now 10 unanswered here in the second half from the Point Skyhawks. Bluefield getting the ball back, though. Jeffrey Hughes and Malik Brown ready to go. Jackson sends an end-over-end kick, and it will be received by Malik Brown at the 10-yard line. Now sprints out right side, room to run, 30, gets a couple of blocks, toes out far sideline, and now out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Bluefield will have a 1st and 10. Bluefield there in that second quarter, Nick, did such a great job of making plays happen, but now Point has been able to make some adjustments after halftime, and they have held Case and Witt to 2 3-and-outs.
They have, and they brought a lot of pressure. They brought a lot of pressure up the middle. Really kind of shocking Case and Witt not being able to get outside and make plays with his feet. And we'll just have to see how Bluefield can adjust to that. Football is a game of adjustments, and let's see which team can do better.
Ball at the 38-yard line. Bluefield in the gun and the pistol. Witt will hand it off to Rashad Butler, bumping up for a yard out to the 39. And it is a 2nd and 9 coming up. Clock is ticking now, over 10 seconds left, and Bluefield not rushing. Looks like they will let this tick down to the end of the third quarter. Witt works his way right back up to the line of scrimmage, but he will not get a snap off. That is it for the third quarter. 33-30, and a classic here in Valley, Alabama. Bluefield trying to come back and take the lead. Taking a quick break as we will return for the fourth quarter here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Second and 9 for Bluefield to start out the fourth quarter. Shotgun snap to Witt. Looks right. Hangs one down the sideline and incomplete. Good coverage by Kendall Hillman, the cornerback on Antonio Strickland. He was all over the freshman, and it was pretty clean coverage.
It was. I agree. Like I said earlier, there's been a lot of physicality on the outside today. The referees are letting him play. That ball was just a tad bit underthrown from Case and Witt. But it's worked for him all day. Why stop going for it? We have to get a first down right here. We got to keep the momentum. Or we got to gain some momentum, rather.
3rd and 8 from their own 39. Bluefield has to get it up to the 47. Witt gets the snap, rolls out left under all kinds of pressure, off-balance throw, and he threw it right into double coverage. Luckily, it was incomplete because that could have been picked off, intended for Charles Black. And now Bluefield with another 3 and out.
He forced that pass a little bit. You know, when you're struggling on offense and you have 2, now 3 straight 3 and outs, you want to try and make a play. And right there, that could have ended disastrously.
Since the start of the second half, Kason Witt is 0 for 6. And Drake Presley back out playing a little bit more, and he will send a punt to Chase Turner. As Point has an opportunity to take a 2-score lead. Lined up at the 39-yard line, Presley back at the 25 to receive the snap from Jackson. It's a good spiraling snap to the chest of Presley, who sends a duck spiral to Chase Turner, who gets it on a bounce, cuts out right, room to run in the middle. Now going far sideline at the 45, looks for a block, across the 50, 40, 35, 30, and tackled up at the 32-yard line, but flag sailing after the play, and this could possibly be on Bluefield. There is a Ram down at the 45 for Point, and once again, this might come back.
I think it is going to come back. You saw the Point player arguing with the referee, trying to plead his case a little bit. But that is yet another great punt return that is going to be negated by a penalty.
Braxton McCallum had his arms up, and looks like that is who the penalty will be called on after he collided with Bluefield's Logan Hinnett. And a Ram is down near the far sideline. 33-30. Wherever they get the ball, they'll start out with 14:26 left in this game. The sun has crept back behind some clouds on a really humid, slightly windy afternoon in Valley, Alabama. And that is an obvious block in the back call, pushing the Skyhawks all the way back to the 33-yard line. And we're going to have the ball up inside the 30 after the return from Chase Turner. Bluefield catches another break. Those penalties have been piling up.
They have. Point is continuing to shoot themselves in the foot this entire game. And the thing is, they're coming on big plays. And they're coming behind the plays where it's pretty much unnecessary to touch anybody.
Still looking for the identity of field player down. And he's getting stretched out by the Rams right now. 14-26. After the block in the back, it pushes the Skyhawks all the way back to the 33-yard line. Bluefield looking for a stop and maybe a switch in momentum because Kason Witt has got the passing game going in the second half. They were down by 16, and there has just been a teetering effect of momentum in this game. Rather than there being big swings and punches in each drive, it's been a domination for about 15 minutes or so without a switch. So Bluefield hoping that maybe that pattern can continue here into the fourth quarter. Players still down for the Rams. And Derek Dallard also has started to work his star Charles Ducksworth back into the game plan. And Ducksworth has been the weapon for most of the year for Point. And remember, this Point team also has faced a Division I team this year.
Yeah, they have to gain a lot of experience from that. No matter the score, I believe it was 66-0.
66-0 to Charleston Southern back in September 23rd. And the player was Caleb Jackson, who has been shaken up at times in this game. He has always worked his way back in, but he had to be helped off with a few of his teammates. That could be a loss at linebacker.
And keeping on that, the freshman James Jones is sitting over there with his leg wrapped up. Apparently, I do not believe he's going to come back.
Bluefield with 3 men on the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 33. Ballard hands it off to Jackson, bumping around, and here comes 3 Rams. Chris DeBerry, Tracy Parker Jr., as well as Larry Jefferson, throwing up a wall, and Marquez Jackson had nowhere to go. It'll be a loss.
And that's a name
gain, rather.
That's a name we usually call almost every defensive play. We haven't called it much today, and that's Larry Jefferson. Let's see if he can really make his presence known going into this fourth quarter.
Now 2nd and 11. Pump fake, looking down. Rolls out left, going near sideline, and he goes out of bounds for a small loss. Krista Berry on the coverage is going to be 3rd and long.
And he was looking for Ducksworth on a little hitch and go there, and Ducksworth coming out of the hitch aspect of that route slipped and had nowhere to go.
A 2nd and very long coming up.
Gonna bring up a 3rd down and 11.
3rd and 11 for Derek Ballard and company. Third and 11 from the 33. Ballard in the gun has 3 receivers out right. 3 men on the line of scrimmage. Drops back, looks down the middle, under pressure. Darius Flowers with a sack. The senior lost his helmet on the play. He's going to have to jog off, but Bluefield, what a stop for the defense. Larry Jefferson was right behind him. And Bluefield able to make a huge stop, Nick, and the defensive tackle, who has been quiet at times, is all fired up, and a crucial 3 and out.
Absolutely, and if you're Bluefield, you might want to go after this punt again. They haven't been able to get these punts off very quickly, and that would be huge as he's standing at his own 7-yard line.
And Jordan Bell has not had great punts today, and especially with the pressure, like you said, even if he does get them off. Good snap. Bell gets off a high end-over-end punt. Johnny Myers calls for the fair catch, and he will receive it at the 48-yard line. Bluefield starting out at the .48 already in Skyhawks territory, and Kaysen Witt trying to get something going for the first time today.
And Bailey, I'm not sure, but what do you think needs to happen for this Bluefield College offense?
I think, Nick, it goes back to what you were talking about. Working in Antonio Strickland as well as Charles Black. That was something we stressed at the second half, or at halftime.
Right.
And haven't been able to do that so far today. They've gone for Strickland, but he has been well covered by Kendall Hillman.
Kendall Hillman has had a heck of a second half over here on Antonio Strickland.
Kaysen Witt in the gun. It's a direct snap to Malik Brown, who went right up the middle, trying for some trickery, but it was just a
Billy,
1-yard gain.
I'm not sure if that was a trick play, to be honest with you. That snap.
Witt just olayed the ball, and the snap went straight to the running back.
That was very odd, but
33-30, Bluefield down by 3, under 13 minutes left to go here in this third quarter.
maybe that's what we need. Some of that backyard football aspect has worked for us the rest of the day.
2nd and 9 to the 47, a low snap, fake handoff, goes back to Harold. Harold on the end around, looks to pass, and he will just bullet it out of bounds. And Harold had nowhere to go, but now flags coming down late in the play.
And
looks like a Bluefield offensive lineman was way down the field, and that could possibly be an ineligible wide receiver.
Right.
Looks like it was Destin McMillan for the Rams, who was all the way down to the 35.
it was about 20 yards downfield past the line of scrimmage. And I was thinking, as soon as I heard that Walter Harold was going to go to the slot receiver position, when is Dewey Lusk going to run that trick play where they have a double pass? And there it is.
And now they are still looking for the flag call. Once again, this has taken a long time. Personnel switching in and out for either team. And it wasn't an eligible man downfield. That is exactly what we thought. Destin McMillan. And they will decline the penalty. So instead of it being 2nd and 15, and it's going to be 3rd and 9, and a good call by Julius Dixon and the Point Skyhawk staff. So the ball is knotted up on the left side at the 47. Bluefield in point territory, and Kaysen Witt looking for some magic on 3rd down. Low snap to Witt. Looks down the field, under pressure, moves up in the pocket, fires. He's got Charles Black at the 20. Juking move at the 15, and then tackled at the 12. Huge 3rd down conversion, and the quarterback does it again. 1st and 10 Rams at the 12.
And Billy, I'm not sure what Charles Black does on his routes, but everybody seems to forget about him, and he just gets lost in behind the defense. Once again, wide open, nobody within about 6 or 7 yards of him. Charles Black again coming up big for this Bluefield offense.
And it's all after Kaysen Witt scrambles away. Black finds his way open. 3 receivers in motion as now it's handed off to Brown right up the middle and tackled after a scooting 1-yard gain. Brought down on the play, looks like it was Kelvin Kelly. And it's actually a 3-yard gain across the 10 up to the 9, so now 2nd and 7. Shotgun formation for Bluefield. 3 receivers bunched near side. Witt looks right, Pump fake, rolls out right, still looking for a man. Bullets for the pylon, and incomplete. Swatted down by Kendall Hillman, the quarterback, as the ball was intended for Antonio Strickland. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
Going to bring up a 3rd and 6 from the 8-yard line.
So now a chance for the Rams. 33-30 point leads. Bluefield with a chance to take the lead. Ball is spotted at the 9-yard line. Brown on his left. Snap to Witt. Drops back. Looks left. Fires end zone, and the pass too high for Churchy Harold. And now the kicking team will come out to try to knot this one up. And Witt had a man open in Harold, and he just missed that pass.
That was a really good route. He was looking for that back pylon, just overshot it just a tad. The route and play call were magnificent. The throw was just a little off.
It will be a 28-yarder from the 9-yard line. Right hash for Griffith, trying to tie up the game. Good snap, hold is down, kick is away, and good. We are tied, 33-30, 11:23 left to go in the ball game. Another classic for the Bluefield Rams, folks. It looks like this one's going to come down to the final seconds. Point getting the ball back. You're listening to Bluefield College Rams football on the Rams Digital Sports Network. All tied up, 33-30 on the Rams Digital Sports Network, or 33-33 rather, wouldn't be tied. And Bluefield able to knot it up on a field goal from Tanner Griffith. He kicks it away, received by Ducksworth at the 14. Now cuts back up far sideline, flag flying, towing down the near sideline, goes up, trucks Isaiah Fenner, and then tackled at the 49-yard line. But once again, looks like another flag going to be called on point.
Yes, on another big special teams play. As Ducksworth once again is trying to mix it up after the play. We've seen that multiple times this afternoon. There's just no room for that.
Well, Fenner did get hit hard, but Bluefield able to still make the tackle. Holding call on point, and it'll bring it back again. Last time that Point had the ball, Bluefield forced a 3 and out in a huge fashion. Darius Flowers with a big-time sack of Derek Ballard. Defensive tackle stormed through, and the big man is still out there, and he is feeling himself. You can tell. Back to the 25-yard line. They have 75 yards to go to the end zone. Skyhawks lining up on the left hash. Marquez Jackson in as the running back on the left side. Ballard has 2 receivers on each side. Hand off to Jackson. Ballard will keep it himself, then stops at the 30. Bluefield sends out their defensive tackles to make the tackle. And it's Darius Flowers, or nope, Tracy Parker Jr. rather, to make the tackle at the 30-yard line. And now a man down. It looks like it's Trey Peters, the wide receiver. So Point with a man down, as kind of expects the attrition to start to show, Nick, the being hot, humid, late in October especially.
Yeah, it's very odd. But it has been a very warm day today and a very tiring day. We've seen many Bluefield players go down. I believe that this is the first Point player that we've seen go down. But it's getting late in the game. It's been a very, very physical football game also.
Well, now Trey Peters brought up by the Point staff. And he walks off.
And Bailey, going back to your point about Tracy seeming to really be feeling himself, that's something that I've seen this entire season from this Bluefield College team. Is under Dewey Lusk, they seem to be having fun all the time.
Well, they're in every game.
They are, absolutely.
So now it is 2nd and 3 from the 32-yard line. They have to get it up to the 35. And Ballard in the gun. He has Ducksworth in the slot on the right side. Hand off to Jackson, and he's brought up to the 35, and another flag flying. This might come back. A flag thrown by the referee on the far sideline. And Tyrese Henry says this one's going to be on point. Have to see what the white hat says because that's pretty close to a first down.
It is. This will be a big call.
And Chase Turner for point says it's on Bluefield. Offsides on the Rams as the referee's mic has seemed to shorten out. So 5 yards and a first down up to the 37.
They might have just blown the speaker with the ref's mic.
37-yard line, 1st and 10. All tied up 33-33, 10 and a half minutes left in this ball game. Bluefield with 3 men on the line of scrimmage and a 3-4. Now a man in motion going from right to left, and Bluefield looks like they drew a false start. So you get the 5 yards and you push them right back. So this will be a 5-yard loss back to the .32-yard line.
This has just not been a very clean football game all the way around.
Right. The Skyhawks, especially in the second half, have not played a smooth game.
No, not at all.
And neither has Bluefield on the offensive end.
Right. Lots of dirty laundry on the field this second half.
All the way back to the 32, 1st and 15 for a conversion. They have to get up to the 47. Now Ballard has a man on his right, one receiver near sideline, now bringing Chase Turner in motion from right to left, who lines up in the slot. Snap to Ballard, moves up in the pocket. Under pressure, Darius Flowers flattening him at the 35. Gain of 3, but a big tackle for the defensive tackle. Solid choice to draw, but Bluefield didn't fall for it. It's going to be 2nd and 13. Or 2nd and 12, rather, just a yard off, and point taking their time now, the clock ticking under 10 minutes. They could bring out Thurston Jackson to kick a field goal, but, folks, everybody's got their timeouts. A ton of football left to be played. Ballard in the gun, all spread out to receivers either side. Antonio Dawkins matched up with Chase Turner near sideline. 3 men on the line of scrimmage as Ballard drops straight back. Under a blitz, drops it off, and that was actually
to
alignment. So the plan was a screen pass, but instead he throws it to his offensive tackle, Kevin Reeves. And Kevin Reeves looked up like, what are you doing?
And Bailey, I've never seen a lineman more surprised in my life.
Well, if he caught it, he's going to get flattened. Devin Jackson came in untouched, looking for another sack in this game. And a flag came down, and they are still talking about this.
Yeah.
Kevin Reeves was not eligible.
No, I mean, a lot of these calls, and I'm not trying to harp on the ref, but all of these calls seem very, very simple. I'm not sure what's taking so long.
It was 2nd and 12, and now could be another loss.
Illegal touching.
An illegal touch on point, bringing it back 5 more yards. And a loss of down as well. Actually, no loss of yardage, it looks like, just an incomplete pass and 3rd and 12. So it's basically an incomplete pass.
Yeah, nothing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on.
3rd and 12 from the 35-yard line. Bluefield looking for a stop. 3 receivers out left. Ballard looks left on the snap. Drops in the pocket. Fires over the middle right through the hands of Chase Turner. And Bluefield comes up with a stop after Turner failed to haul it in. 4th and 12 ensuing for point.
That is a huge break for this Bluefield defense. Once again, the middle of that secondary is having a rough time. Devin Jackson's doing push-ups in the middle of the field. I'm not sure what for, but that's a huge stop. That's a huge break. Point's going for it.
And they are going for it on 4th and 12 from their own 35. Maybe they are trying for a pooch punt of some sort. Bluefield very shocked with the opportunity here, and that's exactly what it is. Ballard pooch punt, sends it away to Tyrese Henry, who will receive it at the 30, gets a couple of blocks, stumbles up at the 40-yard line, goes far sideline, crosses the 50, and works his way out of bounds near the 48. Flags flying in at the conclusion of the play, and not 100% sure what that flag is going to be called on.
Me neither.
But if it's
We'll get back to you in a couple minutes, and I'll let you know.
If it's on point, though, Nick, that just puts Bluefield 15 yards closer, and they already get the ball right now at the 48.
Right, that's one of the best pooch punt returns I've ever seen for a defense that was not prepared for it.
Well, Tyrese Henry was back, and it's going to be a block in the back on Bluefield, pushing them back into their own territory. So now Kaysen Witt won't have as good of field position to start out. Bluefield trying to take the lead. It's 33-33, 8:53. Now they will get it on their own 42-yard line. Charles Black and Antonio Strickland have been the receiving stars today. Can't sleep on Johnny Myers as Malik Brown is in as the running back. Kaysen Witt brings Harold in motion, then hands it off to Brown right side. He stomps his feet and then is stood up at the line of scrimmage by Cameron Weems. And the defense brings him for no down, or no yard, or no gain rather, up to the 43-yard line.
That was a great pop by Cameron Weems from Griffin, Georgia, a freshman.
This point team not exactly as inexperienced as St. Andrews was last week. Have some seniors as well as some other upperclassmen as well. Hard snap from Witt. No offside call. Drops back. Fires looking for Strickland on the far side, and it is incomplete. Strickland was not open. He threw it into double coverage.
And Bailey, as much as we praised him for his completion percentage coming into this game along with the first half, Kaysen Witt's had a hard time finding his receivers and being accurate here in the second half.
It's now 3rd and 9 from the 43-yard line. Have to convert it up to the .48. Bluefield once again in the gun. 3 receivers on the right. Myers, Black, and Harold. Drops back. Quick handoff to Brown. Scooting up near the 50, and he's tackled. So on the quick draw, Bluefield tried to catch them off guard, but Point held it to a 7-yard gain. It's going to be 4th and 2.
And this is going to be a fun call to see what Dewey Lusk wants to do.
I think you have to bring out the punt team because your defense has been playing so well. The rush attack hasn't been working. They haven't been able to pass. The Bluefield pass rush has been exquisite here in the second half.
Well.
Now with under 8 minutes left, they will put it in the hands of their defense, maybe hoping that the special teams can stop a return from Chase Turner.
Right, every time you see these guys run out, we do have a great punter, but the rest of it is a little iffy and a little bit scary, including what starts the play with the snap.
Devin Jackson, a direct snap to Presley. He'll haul it in and boot an end-over-end kick, received by Turner on a fair catch inside the 20, right at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10, Point with 7:15 left, all tied up at 33-33. Bluefield hoping for a chance to get the ball back and make a stop from Derek Ballard, and Ballard has faltered in these past couple of drives, Nick, because that pass rush has just been there.
And he hasn't had time. He hasn't had time to look down the field, like he said, with a pass rush. Along with that is once he looks for Ducksworth or Turner, if they're not open on that first look, he's trying to take off. He's not really waiting back in the pocket and going to a second or third progression.
1st and 10 from their own 17. Ballard lines up in a shotgun formation. Bluefield with 4 men on the line of scrimmage. Draw play, and Ballard smashed at the 20-yard line by Devin Jackson. Kept it on a draw after the fake handoff to Ladarius Mathis out right. And Devin Jackson, the safety, has done such a great job of being all over the place all season. And he laid down a pretty good tackle at the 21-yard line. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6. A conversion would be needed up at the 28. 2 receivers on each side, Turner and Ducksworth on the near sideline. Ballard, a high snap, hands it off to Mathis, bouncing out right side, and then tackled near the first down marker up at the 26-yard line. Logan Hinnett on the tackle. And it will be 3rd and short. And the chain gang actually wanted to move the chains, and they are all confused now, calling a 1st down. So the PA announcer called a 3rd down. Now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. So they moved on 2 rushes. Clock is ticking, a little over 6 minutes left. Ballard in the gun. Snap, drops back, looking left, now rolls out left. All kinds of pressure from Darius Flowers. Off balance, throw down the sideline and incomplete. Looking for Ducksworth at the 35-yard line. He lunged and just couldn't haul it in. That would have been close to a 1st down, but now the clock stops. 2nd and 10, 6:02 left in the 4th.
And you see that Rams defensive line getting pressure back there again.
All tied up at 33-30. Been a fun one, folks. 33-33. 2nd and 10. Lining up on the right hash. Once again in the shotgun. Ballard, indirect handoff to Mathis, cuts back left side and chased down. What a tackle by Tyrese Henry. He wasn't fooled on the counter play at all. The safety sprinted and brought down the running back for short gaining.
This Bluefield defense is playing very inspired this entire second half, picking up the slack that the offense is letting off a little bit, and they've really kept us in this ball game.
33-33, 5:30 left to go in this game. In regulation, Bluefield might need to go into overtime for the second time this season, but they need to make a stop here to get the ball back. All spread out again. Ball spotted on the left hash. Ballard looking around. Gets the snap. Drops back. Under pressure. Drops off a screen. It's caught, but immediately tackled on the play by DeMarcus Wimbush at the 33-yard line was Ladarius Mathis. Flags came out at the line of scrimmage, and this could possibly come back again. So it was obvious that it was going to be a screen because Chris DeBerry came in absolutely untouched.
Right.
This could be a huge penalty.
Yes, absolutely.
With no penalty, short of a first down, fourth down, Point has to punt. So Bluefield likely to decline it if they have the penalty called on Point. Once again, folks, 33-33 on the clock. 5:10 left to go in this game. And it will be called on Point.
Illegal receiver downfield, I
And
believe.
another ineligible man downfield.
So what happened was the receiver that – so it's on a screenplay, your receiver has to stay behind the line of scrimmage to be able to catch the ball while you have linemen going down the field. The receiver was on the other side of – all right.
Third and long.
Yes.
Understand what you're saying. Low snap. Ballard just fell on it. And this could possibly be a snap infraction as a flag came out. Yes, it will be a false start coming up for Point, pushing them even further back. That play was spotted at the 23-yard line. And I get what you're saying, Nick. He was across the line of scrimmage
Yes.
on a drop, and he caught it. Either way, it was going to be short, but the flag came down. Now it's going to be third and a mile to go. They have to convert it all the way up to the 38-yard line.
And this has been the story of the second half for this Point team. They haven't been within range of the first down marker for quite the last few drives.
So after the false start, the ball pushed back to the 17-yard line. Rams just want to stop right here. Under 5 minutes left now. Kaysen Witt could have a chance to score with very little time left on the clock. Bluefield lines up with just 3 men on the line of scrimmage. Ballard once again in the gun. Drops straight back. Looks left. Under pressure. Bobby McBride wrestles him down for a sack. And the transfer from Mars Hill University makes a huge tackle, and it's going to be 4th and long. That defensive front, headed by Dino Kaklis as well as the defensive line coach Rod Howard, they have stood out in this game now.
Absolutely. This second half, they have absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage and have really kept Bluefield on this game while our offense has been spinning our wheels. Our defensive line has been absolutely taking off.
33-33. Bluefield going down in another nail-biter here. 4:09 left to go in the game as Jordan Bell is back to punt. Under some pressure, and he gets off a short one, bounces at the 33-yard line, takes a slight point roll down to the 37, and Bluefield will have short yardage to get to the end zone. Well, the punter has struggled today for Point, and Bluefield has been able to take advantage of it. Now it's a 1st and 10 at the 37. Now you have to see where that confidence was from the second quarter, Nick.
Right, absolutely. And I was about to say, I think that you're going to see a lot of Alex Martin as he runs into the game here. This is a spot where he thrives, grabbing 2 to 3, 4 yards at a time. And remember, we have one of the best kickers in the league, so that could come into play.
Point has 2 timeouts, Bluefield with all 3. Witt in the shotgun, play action, whips it out to Charles Black on a wide receiver screen, rushes out of bounds, and it's a short gain up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Not sure why you would want to stop the clock, but that's exactly what they do there. And it's 2nd and 6 with 3:49 left. Clock will now resume. Bluefield taking their time, though. Not a bad play. Just 4 yards up. Right hash and Witt back in the gun with Martin right behind him. 2 receivers out to the left. Delayed handoff to Martin, plunging up the middle, and the big fella gets up to the 25. 1st and 10, Bluefield.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Dewey Lusk calling plays. You want to see Alex Martin get that confidence and rumble for 4 or 5 yards.
They actually push him back a yard at the 26. Either way, good enough for a 1st and 10. 3:20 left on the clock. Handoff to Martin again, right up the middle, standing up and towing up to the 22-yard line. Gain of 4, and the clock will continue to turn. 3 minutes left to go in this game. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard rush. And Alex Martin in that game against St. Andrews had over 5 yards a carry. Not the story today, but they could use it here. In the gun, snap. Handoff to Martin, left side of the center. Bluefield standing straight up, trying to let him go for a few more yards, and he drives the pile for a short gain up to the 19-yard line. 3rd down for Bluefield and about 3 yards.
And I'm not sure why they choose now to have their pace pick up. I figured this would be the time that they were trying to use a lot of that play clock and eat a lot of time off of the game clock as well. But that last play was run very, very quick after the play before.
2:30 on the clock and continuing to tick. 33-33 the score. Rams looking for their 3rd straight win in a row. Kyle Cater now in as the fullback as Bluefield lines up in the pistol. 6 men in the box as Cater now jukes out left side beside Kason Witt. Witt with a high snap, hands it off to Martin. Martin breaks his way through up to the 19-yard line, converts again, 1st down Bluefield.
And that's exactly what you want. You have Point putting 5 people on the line of scrimmage, and still this Bluefield offensive line coming in clutch when they need it.
1st and 10, now with the ball spotted at the point 14. Bluefield in the red zone. Under 2 minutes left to go, all tied up 33-33. Witt lines up in the pistol. Black and Strickland bunched out to the right. And then on the far side, Johnny Myers, the lone receiver. Snap, another handoff to Martin, and after a stutter step, he flows his way up to the 18-yard line, or rather the 13-yard line on a gain of 1. And now a timeout called by Point with 1:38 left to go in the game. Nick, you saw when they got the ball, you said Alex Martin was going to get all of the carries, and so far, you're like Nostradamus, sir. You've been able to call every one of those plays except for the little flare out to Charles Black.
Right, I did not see that coming in. Charles Black's a guy that he doesn't speak a whole lot, but he has absolutely dominated, had his fingerprints all over this game, and couldn't happen to a better kid. But Alex Martin has absolutely just – he's doing what he does. He's doing what he got recruited here for, and he's doing what had him so much success last year and what has brought him success this year is just running it straight up the middle, beating the linemen and linebackers to the spot, gaining 45 yards.
Well, the Rams looking to move up in the NCCAA rankings. They are 4th in the NCCAA right now, and more importantly, trying to go to 1-0 on this weekend and move up to 4-3 so far this year. Folks, that would be the highest win total for Bluefield since the restart of the program in 2012. Already tied that high with 3 wins last week, now going for their 3rd win in a row and their 1st road victory this year. So after the timeout, 1:38 left on the clock, 2nd and 9 from the 13. Handoff to Martin, trying to bounce outside, and the defensive end wrapped him up. And after the ankle pick tackle, no gain, and another timeout coming up for Point. After the ball couldn't get far, it'll be 3rd and 9 for Bluefield. Still having it at the 13. This could be one of the bigger stands of the game for Point. And a back-and-forth contest where we saw so much scoring there in the first half, Nick. It was 30-23, Bluefield going into the second half. And then kind of stalled out a little bit there in the second half with the defenses making some adjustments and the pass rush working on both sides. It's been an exciting game.
Absolutely. And, Bailey, if you're Dewey Lusk and you got 3rd and 9, would you take the chance and risk throwing an incompletion and stopping the clock again, or would you just run out the clock and then kick the field goal?
I think you have to go for the end zone. You have to, because you don't want to give Point a chance to go down the field, score a touchdown, and win. Even though you do have some confidence in Tanner Griffiths, you're playing the field position game well. They've been doing that, but you don't want to get back out there for a kickoff return from Charles Ducksworth or Chase Turner.
Right. They've burned us a couple times today and had really good returns. Most of them have been negated by penalties, but it's a big play for Bluefield.
3rd and 9 from the 13. They have to get up to the 3. Delayed handoff to Butler. Bumps out left side. He lost the ball. Bluefield able to fall back on it, though. And that could have been disastrous, as now the kicking team will come out. It was a delayed handoff to Rashad Butler. The freshman coughed it up, fell right back on it. It's a loss of 4 back to the 16-yard line. And now it's going to be a 33-yard kick for Tanner Griffith with a minute and counting left to go in this game. Bluefield will probably let this tick down as far as they can. Now under a minute. No timeouts left for Point. Ball is spotted on the left hash as Griffith backs back up. Zachary Wright, the holder. Devin Jackson looks to be the long snapper.
We're going to call a timeout right here.
And Dewey Lusk will call a timeout with 44 seconds left to go in this game.
Well, Bailey, this is huge. This is
Absolutely. This is what Dewey Lusk came here for, to win these close games. Bluefield has not been able to do that in the past.
We've done a pretty good job of it this year, coming back last week from 17 points, and Tanner Griffith just 2 weeks ago having a game-winning field goal in overtime. Let's see if it can put us 3 points ahead here late in the fourth quarter.
It would be a 33-yarder. The ball is spotted at the 16. Point trying to throw the freshman kicker off, and Dewey Lusk hoping he didn't just ice his own kicker. But boy, what a game this has turned out to be. 44 seconds left to go in this game. Now the team's lining back up. Point hoping for a block. Tanner Griffiths hoping for his second game-winning field goal. Lining up at the left hash. 4th and long. Snap. Hold is down. Kick is away. And good! Tanner Griffiths takes the lead for Bluefield with 38 seconds left to go in the game. It is 36-33.
Bluefield 36, Point University, Skyhawks 30.
All right, Bailey.
Well, we won't take a break.
No, we
Let's just
won't.
do that. So the kickoff return about to come up, but Bluefield relying on their freshman kicker, the returning Appalachian Special Teams Player of the Week, and now the Skyhawks in danger here. They're going to get this kickoff with 38 seconds left on the clock, and it was a confident kick from Tanner Griffith.
And Bailey, I think we're going to see Hugo, our second place kicker, come out. We saw him hit one of those line drive kickoffs there in the first half, and I think, nope, they're not going to. But if I was Dewey Lusk, I would not kick it to Chase Turner or Ducksworth back there and give them a chance to return the ball.
Well, Chase Turner will jog out, as well as Charles Ducksworth. Turner a sophomore, Ducksworth a senior. Tanner Griffith lining up to kick from his own 35. Bluefield hoping for a stop. Skyhawks have no timeouts.
Turner back to receive for the Skyhawks.
Now the kick is away, and it's a squibber bouncing at the 40 and received by Isaiah Ross, and laddles it back to Ducksworth. Ducksworth getting some blocks now at the 25. Stiff arm at near the 30, and Bluefield bringing the house down all the way back to the 26-yard line. After Isaiah Ross originally received it, he pitched it back to Ducksworth, and now it's a long road to the end zone, or possibly field goal range for their kicker, Thurston Jackson.
That was scary. That was a scary play. Ducksworth's been very, very good with the ball in his hands in open space today. So Point knowing who their better player is and trying to get the ball into the hands of their playmaker. And I expect them to do that on this drive also.
27 seconds left to go in this game. 36-33. Bluefield needs a stop. No timeouts for Point. Ball is spotted at their own 29-yard line. Ballard has 2 receivers on the left and 1 on the right. Marquez Jackson, the running back. Snap. Ballard drops back. Hangs in the pocket. Under pressure. Rolling out near sideline. Dumps it away, and it is incomplete. Bobby McBride, as well as Darius Flowers, were breathing down the neck of the junior quarterback from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Now the clock has ticked all the way down to 18 seconds, and it has stopped.
Bailey, I've lost a lot of hair over this football team the past 3 weeks. These have been 3 great games, and very fun to call and even more fun to watch.
18 seconds left, and Bluefield, that rush has worked so well, and a sack here would all but seal it. 18 seconds, 2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line. 3 men on the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers far out on the near sideline, 1 on the far side. Ballard gets the snap, quick dump off, and the receiver hauls it in, Ricardo Sloan, for his first reception of the game, and then jogs out of bounds. Not good enough for a first at the 35-yard line. Gain of 6, 3rd and 4 with 13 seconds left to go in the game.
And look for Larry Jefferson, just came in. Watch him come off the edge really hard and try and get a sack. That will, like you said, ice this game.
Larry Jefferson, the former Division I player at West Virginia. Ball's at the 35, 3rd and 4 for Ballard. Trips receivers to his left. Snap, and he'll roll towards those receivers. Sets his feet, hangs up a prayer, looking for Ducksworth, and he caught it, but he is well out of bounds. And now a flag after the play. This one could possibly be a roughing the passer. And now Bobby McBride heard the call and was pointing towards the point side. And Ducksworth was well out of bounds, making that catch. 5 seconds left in the game.
I think we're going to see Devin Jackson stick around the 20-yard line and not come any closer.
Bluefield playing in the prevent. You're absolutely right. Tyrese Henry's all the way back at the 20.
We're spread out almost like a kick return. Tyrese Henry, excuse me.
It's going to be 4th down. An eligible receiver downfield again. So it's still 3rd down, but it's 3rd and 10. Last chance coming up. And a Bluefield crowd that has traveled well to Valley, Alabama is on their feet on the far sideline. 36-33 the score. They need a 70-yard prayer. You'll possibly see them with all the receivers out here on the left side just trying to throw the ball around.
Too many people on the line.
Ballard in the gun. 3rd and 9. Snap, he rolls left, looks for a man, under all sorts of pressure. Larry Jefferson brings down the sack, and Bluefield has now won 3 in a row. What a game, and the Rams are a game above 500.
Wow.
A fun one all around, and the Rams able to get their first road win on the year. Nick, that was just an absolute exciting game.
Yes, it was. I'm not sure what to say. We played great offense. Our defense, though, is the story of the second half. Our defensive line absolutely dominating, and how fitting is it that Larry Jefferson gets a sack in that game?
And Larry Jefferson brought in there at the end, and Ballard had nowhere to go, and the rush so great there in the second half, and Dewey Lusk can be excited, as well as Dino Cackless. His boys really in the second half stifled this point offense, and got to give it to Kaysen Witta as well.
Yes.
He was a game manager more so in the second half than a playmaker, and Bluefield able to improve to 4-3, while point falls to 2-5. And what a game it was for the Rams. And you got to think, Antonio Strickland, what a game for him as well.
Absolutely.
Playing in his home state of Georgia, and now the Rams get a big road win. Now next week they will return against the University of Cumberland's at Mitchell Stadium. That one being played at 6 p.m. as the Rams go for 4 wins in a row, and they are most exciting team we have seen in a while in Bluefield, Virginia.
Yes.
That's for sure.
They're a fun team to watch, and I think this I'll be riding on the defensive bus home. I think it's going to be a pretty fun pretty fun trip.
Well, I'll be riding on the offensive bus home in 10 hours, but it's a little bit better when Bluefield ends up getting the win.
Absolutely.
So for Nick Ratliff, my name is Bailey Engel, reminding you the final score from Valley, Alabama. Bluefield wins their 3rd game in a row and their first road contest of the season, 36-33. We will be back on the Rams Digital Sports Network next week at Mitchell Stadium when the Rams take on Cumberland's. But until then, take it easy, Rams fans.